Anyway,
I hear
That'd
ya.
be nice.
It would be lovely.
it'd be great. It'd be great if we
show.
didn't get the police involved in this show. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah, for once, lawsuits are enough.
Again,
Cease and desist orders are enough.
it's bad enough the sponsors are bailing out like rats on a ship.
Oh my God! Did we say that live on the air?
Oh, are we live? All right.
Oh no! Now
Uh-oh.
everyone knows. Now everyone knows.
And cut. Good night, everybody.
Thank you, everybody.
Goodbye. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Oh my! Oh no! Thank you. Let's jump in Neanderthal. Yeah. The great Johnny Beane. And I am your host, John Mancuda, with Blue Rhino right here. Thank you, everybody. There we go. Blue Rhino gets the $sign. What are you paying him?
He's so money and he doesn't even know it.
Yeah, he does. He just gets these checks in the mail. He's like, "Daddy, what's that?" I don't know. Oh, I don't want to open it. There's a pile of envelopes, probably checks from Johnny for Blue Rhino.
Welcome to Wayne's World in real life.
On a lower budget.
Yeah, if it's possible.
If that's possible.
Yes.
Oh man.
Wow. What time is it?
Yeah,
8:10 p.m. Eastern?
Yes.
It
Welcome everybody to Talking Guitars and
Wow.
80s Metal live.
Wow. November 9th, 2021. Amazing.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Busy.
probably snowing where you are.
It could be. Keith
Yeah.
Campbell says, "Hey now, knuckleheads, I've got a pizza and beer for myself. What do you guys got?"
Oh, man.
Is the answer herpes?
Yeah,
I
I've got
think it's
I've got
herpes.
a lonely condom, is what I've got.
Get it, buddy.
Yuck.
Fucking idiot. Dog dropped a ball underneath the desk, and he's looking at me like, "Hey, go in there and get it." I'm like, "No, you go get it. You put
Yeah,
it there,
dude.
stupid." Go
Yeah,
ahead.
Ace, we're live,
Get your
man.
Get your
We're
ball.
live. You got to get your own ball. Daddy's hosting.
Good boy. Good boy. Yes, buddy. That's your ball.
Yeah, so welcome everybody. Talk Guitars and 80s Metal Live. Today is Tuesday, November 9th. 1 day away from my birthday tomorrow. 2 days away from
Whoa.
when I start filming the new movie. Everything will be okay. Everything will be fine in the end. And
It's
I'm
not
not
going to
gonna
be fined.
Yeah, I'm not gonna have time to celebrate my birthday because I got to be up at 3 a.m. on Thursday.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, boo, boo, fucking who?
I could have
There's
been
no
at 3
bir-
in the morning.
There's no birthday time for me, man. There's no birthday time.
Oh,
People are gonna be calling me tomorrow, getting my voicemail. I'm gonna be sleeping.
Wow.
I should be sleeping now, but what am I doing? Hanging
Yeah, I
out
know.
with you guys.
It's 5150 time. That's right, James G. And hey, drop a thumbs up for Mancuda's birthday tomorrow.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
Congratulations,
Thumbs up.
he's not dead yet.
yeah, not yet. There's still time. It's not
I mean-
midnight yet, boys and girls.
He's not dead yet, and he's nowhere near as entertaining as the Jason Becker documentary, Not Dead Yet.
That I'm in. Thank you.
Here it comes.
You just opened that door, Paulie. There it is.
Here it comes. Yeah, but I don't see a picture.
I don't have
Not
it.
yet.
Well, I'll have to find it.
He's gonna put up the photo with Paul Gilbert anyway, and he's gonna superimpose Jason Becker's photo on it.
It's right there. It's right there, Johnny. Go ahead. It's right there.
I am actually in that. A bunch of my friends are in it. But when they showed it on, what was it Access TV when Eddie Trunk hosted?
Okay.
The clip they showed was I was in that, so that was pretty cool. That was
Did you get any
pretty
money
neat.
for
Well,
that?
there you go.
No.
There it is.
So yeah, so it's like Mancuda's
There it is.
career. No, you're in it. You don't get any credit. You don't get any money.
No money.
Yep.
No money. No job I do pays well.
No job, no credits, no money, no point.
Never a ship.
Never sheep.
Never a birthday. Never a birthday gift.
Yeah, I think Johnny
Can't
and I
drive
have been in
55 cent.
Johnny and I have been in more
Can't
movies
drive
than Mancuda.
Well, you've probably been paid for more movies than I've been in more movies, but you guys have gotten paid more. Can't Drive 55 says Mancuda will be reenacting The Hangover.
I saw that. I actually did see that. Like
You'll
a
see
year,
it.
like 6 months ago.
And you'll see it again tomorrow. Remember, it's not my birthday for a few more hours, so don't put bricks through my window until then.
Leave it, drop.
Keith Campbell says, happy birthday, John. I'll slip the laundromat friend an extra $2. Nice.
Good girl.
Starch my shirts or my shorts.
Yeah.
Nice. Even right now, my mother's checking in. Yeah, false flag. Don't bother putting 1999. I don't get any of that. That's not. That's just so you know. That 1999 that goes to Johnny. That doesn't go to me.
It's not even
If you
as
want-
impressive when you realize that false flag is Johnny and he's just taking money out of one pocket and putting in the other.
That is the true. That is the true.
Johnny's gonna suddenly donate $100 to the chat, and he's gonna be like, "See, you know, it's for Mancuda, but it's not going to Mancuda, but you know,
$1 million. Look at that. $1 million.
yeah."
Who would have thought?
Who'd have
And he-
thought?
And he
Who'd have
still
thought?
can't get a computer that works.
Nice. Right now, my mother's like,
Thank you.
"Oh, it's his birthday. It's the anniversary of the day my vag was stretched out.
Oh.
Bye, taint."
The good news is that was a long, long time ago. And so
29 again tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's getting a little tiresome.
So I told a friend of mine, I
Wow.
go, I'm about to do a stream with some friends where we talk about guitars and 80s metal. No.
When's that?
Yeah, I was gonna say
Is that after this show?
don't that never happens. Never happens. Not happening.
He's
I'm
like,
like,
boy, I
we're
can't wait to
already
hear
9 minutes
that.
into the we're 9 minutes into it and we're talking about Mancuda's mother's vag.
And my laps of taint.
That has to be when you do the show description, Johnny, on YouTube for the YouTube channel. It should be talking guitars and 80s metal. Mancuda's mom's vag should be the synopsis of the show.
That's the headliner. You know what's amazing? So I'm talking to my mother the other day. This is great. This is really good news. So she goes to me. She's like, "Oh, you know, your show's coming up Tuesday. I can't wait to hear that." I'm like, "Oh, good. You're gonna watch it?" She's like, "Well, yeah. I mean, I always watch it, but you know, it's in the background." I'm like, "Wait, well, I'm sorry. What?" "Well, I'm watching TV too." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" "Well, there's a lot of good programs on Tuesday night, so I watch TV and I have your show on my phone. So I'm watching both at once." I'm like, "Wait a minute, you don't just stop to watch your son on television?" Well, there's a lot of good stuff, and I don't have a lot of time in the day, John. It's very busy, and you know, there's a lot of good TV. And I'm like, what? So my mom is basically right now watching this on her phone while really watching regular TV and kind of glancing in. "Oh, what is Dancing with the Stars. Oh, who got voted off? What? Penis? Oh,
Yeah.
oh, yeah."
I'm with cartoon David Crosby. Meh.
That's my mom right there.
Yeah.
Nothing on
Your
but
mom's mustache
meh.
isn't quite as thick. This week anyway.
At least not above the waist. Oh.
Jesus.
No, but isn't that fucked? She doesn't even watch the show like regular. She just watches. She watches it on her phone while she's watching TV. She's that woman.
She gives a shit you even exist.
She's that woman in the movie theater right now with shh. Oh, he's talking about jizz. Oh. She's that woman with her phone on watching something in the movie theater right now. Keith Campbell says, my mom was watching Barnaby Jones.
It's possible.
Mom's streaming Cobra Kai Platoon. Oh, get him, Danielson. Oh, my son.
Well, I mean, I can't thank you. I can't possibly think why your mom would be embarrassed to have a son with a fucking Captain America shield and Frankenberry stuff in the background.
talking about jizz.
Yeah, I brought that piece of shit into this world. You're welcome, world.
The show would probably be better without John. Maybe just put Blue Rhino in with those guys. Yeah, here, wait. Mom, will you watch it now? It's just Blue Rhino. Oh, the show just got interesting. Suddenly, like another 30 thumbs up just went on.
That Rhino makes my Beane twitch.
Oh, he really is funny. He's so cute. I love the way he just says next to nothing, but he's adorable. I wish John Talk Lesson was adorable.
I was just going to say,
no such luck.
I should adopt him and completely emancipate myself from Jonathan.
Yeah, no, this is her little blue grandson. This is as close as she's getting to kids. Mom, that's it. That's as close as you're getting to a grandchild. I'm never, ever having kids. That's it. To everyone's delight, I'm not reproducing.
Let me translate that, Mrs. Mancuda. Your son is gay.
She wishes I was gay.
Yeah, then you dress nicer.
Yeah, I dress nicer and hey, stop bringing home strippers to the house.
Oh, why don't you marry a doctor?
You know,
I'm sure you've met a nice doctor or two.
I've dated a ton of doctors, and this leads into a conversation I had with Paul the other night.
I didn't look her up.
Yeah, I've dated a bunch of I've dated everything. I've dated from models and strippers to doctors and
giraffes, farm animals.
Yeah. Goats.
You name it.
No, I have dated a number of doctors, and
you're right.
The one there you go. Thank you, Facebook user. That's the owner of Bang Energy Drink, by the way.
Could be, yeah.
Wait, we sponsor this? Yeah, no.
Why is the owner of Bang Energy Drink suddenly Jewish?
Because why not? Why not?
Okay, sure.
I thought he was an Arab, but okay. Bang Energy Drink. Yeah, so I dated this one doctor. She was head of radiology, and my mom was really hoping that I would stay with her, and I didn't because she just didn't have any common sense without getting into a long rant about it. You know, she's
I love that Chris Bevan feels the need to talk you off the ledge. It's okay,
Thank you,
John,
Chris
that your mother thinks you're a piece of shit. I love you.
Thank you, Chris Bevan. You're the only one. You're the only one, brother. That's it. It's just you. So
you and his Frankenberry box.
Thank you. I know. Right? Even Blue Rhino wants to walk off.
Yeah. I mean, who doesn't? Jesus Christ, who can't possibly want to date a guy in a Flash Gordon t-shirt?
This isn't just Flash Gordon. This is the 1979 animated Flash Gordon. In my opinion, one of the most true to the original material Flash Gordon's ever done. Thank you, Lusheimer Filmation. Rest in peace, brother. Really good stuff if you watch cartoons, which I do.
That is some heavy nerd shit.
Next level nerd shit. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's funny. I brought a catchphrase to the world, and then it got ripped off. Johnny, I know how you feel.
Happens all the time.
That's what I hear. Yeah.
Yeah, so my mom anyway looked up this girl I used to date, and apparently she has a large number of medical practices now. She was already like head of radiology or something when I dated her, but now she has like a whole level of medical practices in her name in Arizona near Neanderthal. So mom is now like, you should go visit Paul. Why don't you visit Paul? And you should probably look up that girl you used to date, Yeah, so it's not happening. Not that I wouldn't visit Paulie, but I am not going to look up an ex-girlfriend because my mother wants me to get married to a doctor. So no, Mom, it's not going to happen.
And here's the thing. I'm not going to, excuse me. I'm not going to look her up because I'll be damned if I'm taking John Mancuta's leftovers.
My seconds.
I'm not putting my penis any place where John Mancuta's penis has been.
Okay, hold on. False flag. I gotta set this up here. All right. False flag is saying, Johnny, give this money to me. Johnny's not going to give this money to me.
Johnny's not giving money to anybody. No.
False flag. That money is in Johnny's pocket. Don't send
You're talking to me, though.
Money to me. Don't send birthday money to me. If you want to send me birthday money, message me on Facebook. I'll give you my PayPal. But it's not, if you send me money for my birthday here, it's not going to get to me. Huh?
Put your PayPal link in the chat.
I will put up my PayPal link in the chat. Okay. Here.
That's all you do.
False flag. Why not? Why not? Here. False flag. If you want to send me
the
something
show has suddenly become a telethon.
The John Mancuda birthday telethon.
Folks, for just pennies a day, you can help this out of work. And we do mean out of work actor.
We mean just pennies.
I'm making a movie and I'm only doing it for the food on craft service. So there you go. My email is now in the chat.
It's time for a new headshot, John. That was like 30 years ago.
I look just like that fucking headshot. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? I look fucking great.
Yeah, I loved you. I loved you when you were in fucking Backstreet Boys. Look at that thing. Head off to the side. Hey, buddy, I'll give you a handy in West Hollywood.
That is a damn fine headshot. Thank you.
Sure. It looks
okay. Well, hold on.
Beautiful.
Hold on, Paul. Yeah,
that the girl gave Gary Sharon at the Saddleback when I ran into him.
All right, false flag. If you want to send me money for my birthday, that's my PayPal address.
Jesus.
Okay, so please,
AOL.
By all means,
you just gave away that you're over 29.
Yeah, I know. There's 3 people on AOL. It's me, the owner of AOL, and I don't know the third person.
Yep.
Actually, I do. It's a prominent rock star, but I can't say who it is.
I ran into some prominent rock stars on AOL back in the day. It was interesting. You're like, these guys are like, well, I don't know how prominent. I'll mention somebody that I ran into on AOL like 20 years ago.
Hold on, Paulie. Look at the stream down there at the bottom.
Send birthday monies to John
Look
Mancuda.
at the crawl.
Yeah,
that's right. It's the John Mancuda birthday money telethon. You want to send money to me? You want money for my birthday? I want your money. Send me your money. Send me your money. Oh my God, it's money time. Money time. Money time.
I didn't know John had a sound machine.
Yeah, that was my birthday gift from my mom last year.
It was. I ran into Dave.
Oh, it's Bozique. It's Bozique.
What? Who's Bozique?
Bozique is the other person on AOL.
Oh, okay.
And Janice. Janice is on there too.
Hey, Janice.
I ran into Dave Menichetti on AOL like 20 years ago. And this was back when nobody was, the people still weren't on America. It was even over 20 years ago. This is 30 years ago, 1991. 92, like when AOL 1.5 or 2.0, when we would still get the disc and you got 15 hours free every month. And you're like, oh, I'm on at 14.4. I'm on at 14.4.
I was hoarding those things.
Yeah.
I know, right? Me too.
And it sucked because when you went over your 20 free hours a month, it was like $15 an hour. You're like, what the fuck am I getting a bill for $70 for?
For one
I ran
song
into-
off Napster.
Yeah,
Actually,
I ran
look
into
in the chat. A lot of people are still on AOL.
I still have an AOL address. I don't know when the last time I signed into it was, but I still have one.
Fred Level Midnight's not one of them, but
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, they take it away once you leave AOL. Because when I left AOL, they don't let you take it with you.
I haven't.
Yeah,
I
they
haven't. I'm not on.
destroy it.
I'm not.
I
I'm not
have
on AOL.
I have other emails, but that's the one I use for my PayPal.
Yeah, I got like a bunch of emails too. But I run into Dave Menichetti, Johnny Marr from the Smiths, which was kind of fun. Because the Smiths weren't together. Obviously, they were already broken up.
So, are you talking about in one of those AOL chat rooms?
Yeah, like in chat rooms, I ran into these guys.
I haven't been in those since a billion years ago.
Denny Lane, who was in Wings. And these are guys like, 'cause trust me, if you're going to impersonate somebody on AOL, it's not going to be Johnny Marr, Dave Menichetti, Denny Lane,
Exactly that.
Such a weird thing. And again, as we all know, Menichetti couldn't have been nicer. Still nice guy. 30 years later, nice guy. He's
still on AOL.
Because he's been the nicest guy and he's always been a nice guy, Y&T has never been what they should be. Fantastic band. Nobody cares.
Talking guitars and 80s internet.
Hey, we finally got into some 80s metal though, didn't
some
we?
80s stuff.
I worked us into that instead of we're no longer talking about Mrs. Mancuta's labia. We're now into Menichetti, who has had slightly fewer hits than Mrs. Mancuta's labia.
And
Hey, Cheryl.
Hi, Ellie.
Hi, Ellie.
Labia.
Right now, my mom's like, oh.
I used to like Paul. I thought he was a nice boy.
I thought I heard label on Manicotti. Yeah, I like that brand. Yeah, they're talking about Italian food. That's nice.
I used to think he was such a nice boy, and now, not so much.
Oh, I love Neanderthal. I wish John would be more like him.
Old.
Yeah, my mom was battling with the woodpecker again. When I just went home to New York, I put up all these.
Wait, are we still talking about her labia again?
Yes. I got to get this out of the way because I know she's listening. Yeah, so I put up all this woodpecker stuff, like to keep the woodpecker off the side of the house where he's been ripping apart the house. And my mom calls me up the other day all angry and hysterical. She's like, you know what happened today? I'm like, I can only imagine. The woodpecker moved to the front of the house. I'm like, oh, God. So he's just going to choose a different side of the house until I make my house look like a silver foil disco ball. Fucking the entire house covered in silver foil anti-woodpecker repellent. Unfucking believable.
Riveting story, John.
Yeah. Well, and then she told me how Uncle Giuseppe's meatballs were like hockey pucks. They were terrible. Never again will I order those frozen Uncle Giuseppe's meatballs. What are they thinking making them so hard?
That's what she said?
Yeah. And then she told me about her adventures on customer service with a clothing company that she ordered something from. I don't even want to imagine how many times she called them because she's like, here's how the story went, Paulie. She goes, so I wasn't happy.
I like how you stop right there and you're like, here's how the story went, Paulie, as if I were listening.
Well, she's not listening either. She's on her fucking phone while watching Dancing with the fucking Stars.
This is like, I'm about to say something important, Paul. Listen to this.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
All right. Sorry. All right. So, John, go ahead.
Yeah. So here's the story, Paul. Fuck you, Paul. Here's the story, Johnny. So Johnny's like, I don't care. Johnny, look at Johnny's on his phone.
I was sleeping.
Huh? Well, I'm sorry. I was texting your mom, John, letting her know to pay attention. Yeah. So my mother says, I'm on the phone with customer service about those pants I didn't like, and it was the nicest thing. She goes, "Oh, is this Mrs. Mancuda? Oh, Oh, what seems to be the problem? And she went on about her returning some pants and exchanging something. And then I was like, wait a minute, back up, Mom. They knew your name at the customer service line.
Wow, it comes up on the fucking computer.
Nah. That wasn't the deal.
Screen.
That wasn't the deal. She wouldn't admit it, but I know this clothing company. She's probably on the phone like 10 times a day. Hello, my name is Mrs. Mancuda. The zipper on those olive pants you had, they didn't quite work for me. And I don't know about the waistband. What type of elastic did you use on that? And the cuffs. Can I roll the cuffs? Okay, thank you. They're probably just like, is this Mrs. Mancuda? Why, yes. How did you know? You're the only one that calls this clothing company, ma'am. Yeah. So I have a feeling she's constantly on the phone with that clothing company, the customer service. It's like, you get it. I'll bet it's that Mrs. Mancuda lady. All right. Hello, blah, blah, blah clothing. Hello? Hello, who is this? Oh, my name is Mrs. Mancuda.
I can actually hear Johnny Beane clicking his mouse right now. That's how silent the show is.
You know what's really fucked up? John, I'm trying to do some
That's
visual
people clicking
faces.
off the show.
I'm trying to do some visual faces, and there's Johnny putting on fucking this motherfucker, this cocksucker on the screen when I'm trying to talk. Look at this. Let's do the fucking roll call already. We're 27
minutes into the show.
Let's do the roll call. Let's say hi to our executive producers who take the blame for all this shit. David Ennis, Vinyl Freak 5150, Mikey's Music Therapy Laz, Majestic PB and J Cat, Wayno, False Flag, Andy Carson, Michael B, R Habs, the Chad, Linny Lou, and my little geriatric sex kitten Mary. I don't have a taint either anymore. Oh,
who we met, by the way, on
Linny Lou and Mary were at the Hailing Con
Sunday. We met Linny Lou and Janice Lala.
Awesome.
Where? They're in the live stream on the channel here from Sunday. We were at EVH Con.
Nice.
They were there.
You went?
No, Kurt 5150 went.
Oh.
Yeah, Johnny, let me finish the executive producers. Then you can ramble on about your shitty story. These people paid you, Johnny. These people pay your salary.
This is a good time for me to go take care of the dogs. Be right back.
Yeah. James Gum, John Moronic, Stephen Franklin, Michael the Captain Smith, Thomas Santiago, Joe Christian, Jimmy Ray Hawkins, and Steve Carmichael.
Steve Carmichael. Thank you, guys.
Let's read off regular roll call too. For those that did not pay, for those that didn't pay a cent, but are here by the grace of God, because I know we appreciate that. Oh my God, we have Vistalite 1972, Lee Sofko, Thomas Santiago, Dan in New Jersey, R2R3 Locking Nut, Nightbot in the house, Tim Thomas, All Dave, All Night, Bo Zeke in the house, Janice, la 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 la. Keith Campbell, James G, Hellstorm, Marcy Douglas. Hey, Marcy. Can't Try 55, Mark Graves, Tim Thomas, Sandra Picorni. 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 Me love you a long time. Let's see. Fred Level Midnight, Mickey Newman, Magic Man, he's a magic man. False Flag, hey, wait, that's Johnny. Music Therapy Laz, Lee Safko, Paul Martino. Let's see, who else in the chat? Linny Lou and Mary in the house. Susan Silvestri, thank you, love. Got a lot of girls in here. Dwight Bailey, Eric Casper, Lee Safko. Let's see. Who else?
Leo Safko.
What did I say? Did I say Lee Safko again?
You said Lee.
God damn it. Motherfuck me. I am so sorry. Leo. Oh, Leo Safko.
Hi, Uncle
Oh,
Leo.
Leo Safko. Okay, so Leo Safko. Sorry about that, brother. And that's always my fucking fault. I screw that up. I am so incompetent. Keith Campbell, Dwight Bailey, Fret Level Midnight, Renus Pinkle in the house. Chris Bevan in the house. Thank you, brother. Black Salami in the house. Why? That's what he's asking. Dan in New Jersey, Zach Thong in the house. Chris Bevan, I keep mentioning because he's worth it. R2R3 Locking Nut, Mike Newman.
Lee Safko.
Lee Safko in the house. Let's see. John Mancuda in the house. Amazingly.
Hey, Marcy.
Marcy Douglas in the house. Zach Thong. James Avdelis in the house. Thank you, James. Let's see. Who else?
Hey, Andy.
Andy Griffith? Oh, Lindy Lynch is in the house, and she's a girl. Great. Lindy, I expect some nudes today. Thank you. It's my birthday coming up. So, yes, booby pictures always welcome. Thank you for asking. Whoa. Kai Matthews, Keith Campbell, Laguna Palms, Rosie Palms, Harry Palms, all in the house. Let's see.
How are those birthday thumbs ups going? 45.
45 with 100 people in the chat. It's my birthday tomorrow. Leave a thumbs up on the video. Why not? Smash that like button.
Yeah. Smash that birthday cake.
And Mike Neese is about to order some delicious Colonel's Gourmet popcorn. Whose name do you use to get the most free stuff, Jay or Johnny? Definitely mention Jay Hannon or Johnny Beane. Either one. Don't mention my name because they'll be like, what the fuck is that? Just like I was.
That's the guy you want to mention.
Oh, my God. Is that Jay Hannon with a beard? Colonel's Delicious Gourmet Popping Corn and more. Mention Johnny Beane and Jay Hannon. You will get more product, more popcorn, more candy, more chocolate, more nuts, more sugar-free candy. Whatever you order, it's all good. Colonel's Delicious Gourmet Popcorn and more. Thank you, Colonel's.
Love you, Colonel's.
Drew SGS 60. I know Colonel's has got to send me a big, delicious box of movie popcorn, my favorite. And they're going to send that to me in Hollywood. I know that's come. Let's see. Ice Wallow come in the house. Let's see. Chris Bevan, Lindy Lynch, Lindy worth mentioning twice. Lee Safko, Rico B, Vistalite 1972, Tim Thomas, AJ Ward. Who else? Let's see. Papa Blue, Andy Carson.
That's a peanut. Yeah, right?
Mention Johnny and you'll get nuts in your mouth. More nuts in your mouth. AI Gaming in the house.
Hey, Boner.
PP Burns. That's a great name. AJ Ward with a little JoJo emoji. Let's see who else in the house. Let's see. Murphy. And everyone else. Thank you, Marcy. I'll expect your booby pics in my Facebook email inbox as well. Thank you. Papa Smurf, Papa Boner, all's going there. Yeah, Count Drive 55. We've been doing the roll call for 40 minutes now. And everyone else in the house, welcome and thank you. Including my mother, who's only partially watching. Oh, he's doing roll call again. Oh, someone got eliminated. Oh. Oh boy.
Man.
And let's give condolences and blessings right now. Condolences to the great Paul Stanley, whose father passed away the other day at a ripe and beautiful and lovely 101 years old. William Eisen left the earth on what was this? just the other day, 101 years old and 7 months. Rest in peace, and condolences to the Stanley family and friends and family. Really great to hear. And blessings to our very own Sean and Brooke Jansom in Louisiana, whose newborn baby, one dies, one's born. Little Miss Hendrix Miles decided to come into the world November 7th at 8 p.m. Congratulations. Congratulations, you guys. That's really great. And of course, better you than me. Yeah.
And now they get no sleep.
Now they get no sleep.
So at least you can sleep till what? 2 a.m., 1 a.m. Or you get up at 3, right?
I now have to get up at. For those that don't know, I'm in a movie that we're shooting starting the day after my birthday, and I have to get up at 3 a.m. for early call times because call times, movies start shooting usually at the crack of dawn. Hi, Dawn. Love you, baby. Yeah, but aside from her, movies start shooting really early in the morning, and my call times are 5 a.m., which means I have to get up at 3 a.m. to make sure that I'm there on time and screen ready, and
you got to get up. You got to brush your teeth. You got to take the bus.
Shit, shower, shave, the whole 9 yards. No bus. No bus. My baby takes the morning train. He works. Yeah. So
I've seen pictures of what's his name taking the bus. Keanu Reeves. He takes the bus.
I don't mind taking the bus, but I have a car. Why would I take the bus?
I'm sure he has plenty of cars, but he still takes the bus.
Well, I'm going to be taking a car. Maybe he wants that extra half hour of sleep. I like to drive myself. So I'll be taking the bus early in the morning. He works hard for no money.
No, you said you're taking a car.
So hard for no money. Yeah, no, I'll be driving myself. I don't want to take the bus. I'll
take the bus to get to your car.
The bus. I'll take the train to the plane to the. Yeah, no, there's all sorts of stuff, and then you have hair and makeup and props and wardrobe and all that shit. So I'll be getting up at 3 a.m. So tomorrow, when it is my actual birthday, I will have no time to celebrate because I'll be running lines and I'll be going to bed early. I probably won't be on social media or the phone or anything like that because there's a lot of work to be done. So there you go.
It's a big part.
Yeah, it's a big part. Yes.
Well, that's good.
That's the only big part my son was born with.
Boy, I'm glad I come back to penis talk.
Welcome to Talking Penis and 80's Metal Live. Yeah, everyone wants to know, was Paul's father buried in a Kiss coffin? I don't know. I would hope so. We have some of these laying around in the warehouse. Would it be such a sin to save some money?
Oh, my gosh.
Well, I'll tell you, I'm willing to give you cost plus 5.
Come on,
I think that's a reasonable nominal fee.
Half of that coffin's mine, Gene. You got to give it to me 50% plus cost on your end.
They're probably going to be buried together, those two guys.
I think we could save our kids some money if we do like one big coffin. I was watching this video of Paul was on a Kiss cruise, and he was doing like a cooking demonstration of these meatballs that he makes, and people yelling out, are you going to do a cookbook? A Kiss cookbook, with K's on it and everything. And he's like, well, the problem is it would be really thin because I only know a few recipes. I mean, I'm a cook. I'm not a chef. So like, if I did a cookbook, I'd have to like come up with recipes that are my own because I don't want to steal recipes or anything. And I only know like a couple of recipes. So it'd be really thin. And right now, Gene is at home, the Kiss cookbook pamphlet. Oh, you like that, Ace?
No, that was Lemmy. Lemmy's all about it. She's deciding whether or not she wants to challenge Ace for a ball right now. She's looking for an assist. By the way, I think it's interesting that
My meatballs?
no, that All Dave All Night believes Paul and Gene donated a kiss coffin for Dimebag. Dimebag didn't have health insurance, so they couldn't bleed him for anything. True story.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm surprised they don't have a kiss urn for those that want to get cremated. Cremated
Well,
with a K.
If you want to do something in this world, you have to earn it.
How would you like to get kiss cremated? The kiss cremation experience.
James Stewart said he was listening this morning to the morning show. Thank you for the kind words. Very nice of you. Yeah, we were talking about my partner, my on-air partner, Mark, apparently owed the IRS like 4 cents. some weird, and they literally billed him for it.
Plus interest.
Sent him a bill. Well, it went from 4 cents to like 40 something cents, and then it went up to like $22. I'm like, how the hell did they get $22 out of 4 cents? And he was able to negotiate it down to $2. I'm like, so he mailed the IRS a check for it. It wasn't even the IRS. It's the
How
state of
long was
Arizona.
that though? What was the time
It
frame?
wasn't that long. It was like less than a year. It was like some sort of like he owns an apartment. You know, he's a landlord because he's got money, and I have family.
Land.
You're
stuff.
here.
I have
Yeah.
Family Guy stuff. But he I guess there's some sort of a privilege tax that you get for being fucking prosperous in the state of Arizona. In any event, it was a 4 cent thing that went up to 22, that went up to like 40 cents, then $22, and finally they negotiated it down to $2. And it was literally the state of Arizona's fault. And Mark is a man of incredibly thrifty tastes. He's cheap as fuck. And I don't mean that in a bad way. He's not going to spend money frivolously. He's from, he's a little older than we are. And he's from one of his father's philosophies was, and we've all heard this, I'm sure we've got an uncle or a grandfather or a father that has said this, is this a need or is this a want?
I think Gene Simmons said that.
Yes. They all say it. I mean, there's a generation of people
I believe
that do
that
that.
Gene said that one.
Is this a need or is this a want? And so Mark's not going to spend money needlessly. That said, he was literally fighting over like 4 cents.
He should have called me to negotiate for him. He should have called me to negotiate for him.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm putting my Jew on the phone here.
Yeah,
hello.
This is Arizona.
Yes.
This is. What do you think? This isn't Arizona. Your magic doesn't work here, Heeb.
There will be no Jewish Jedi cheapening tricks here.
Not in Arizona. You're in Arizona. We don't need no stinking Hebrews.
Mancuda, you're the only Jew here. This is not the $2 you're looking for. Yes, it is. No, it's not. Yes, it is.
It is.
We are the IRS.
Now the IRS is fucking Boris Badenov. All of a sudden.
Duh,
Okay,
we will-
Booby.
We will get $2 from Moose and Squirrel.
That was
no.
By the way, for those of you looking for racism, there's the spectrum. Racism, anti-Semitism, it's all here. Tuesday nights on the Johnny Beane channel.
That's all in cartoon form.
Yeah, and it's okay
So it's
when you
okay.
are of that race.
No, it's not. It's never okay. Racism is never okay.
It's not racism. Look, I'm Jewish. My relatives are cheap. What do you want? I'm cheap. What do you want?
Well, it's good that you're not stereotypically complaining.
Yeah, well, you have no right to say that.
What are you talking about? My people fought for Mussolini. They were the. Oh wait.
Yeah.
Ow. Ow.
John.
They were my father's people.
Oh, look, they're raising money for John's birthday at the bottom. No, I won't.
My mother's people fought for William Wallace. That
They
didn't
could
work out
take
so
our
good.
lives.
That didn't work out so good either.
Yeah, that didn't work out at all.
So in keeping with my family tradition of failure, hi, it's Tuesday night. We're on the Johnny Bean channel.
I like AI gaming. I'm Italian. I love spaghetti and pizza and garlic, so I guess I'm a racist.
Yep. No, they're not, Bozique.
Thank you, AI gaming.
No, they're not.
Let's see. It's about to get a lot past
That's a misnomer.
Nah, it's
That's
a
not
rumor.
true.
It's a
and,
rumor.
and it's outside the scope of discussion for this channel. So, but just know that's not a thing.
There you go.
Actually,
Bozique,
Bozique, Judaism is both a race and a religion. You know, every Jew is a citizen of Israel, and that therefore makes them citizens of a nation, which is a race of people. And you know, and more power to them.
Where's Paul's yarmulke? He knows a lot about it.
Well,
right now, my mom's like, "Did Paul have a bris?"
Well, hang on a second. Let me see if I can I'll try and make some pace here. Like, just all I need is a black hat and a briefcase full of diamonds.
You know what's really funny? Years ago I auditioned for Pirates of the Caribbean, and it got really close. So they were taking all these photos of me. Yeah, James G, that's not going to me. That's going to Johnny. Yeah. Any birthday money is to my PayPal. Any channel money is going to Johnny. Johnny's making more today than I am for my birthday. Thank you, James G.
My birthday is coming up too. Thank you. 29 again.
I didn't see that with any sincerity at all. You were just making that shit up.
I don't celebrate birthdays anymore. I'm too old.
My birthday's coming up too. Nothing.
And yes, I know that you know. Yes, James G. I know that you know. That's okay. Anyway, let's talk about, speaking of movies.
Wait, what?
Yeah. Exactly. What a lead in, right?
That just happened.
The Alec Baldwin movie Rust that we were talking about previously has had another terrible tragedy on there. I think that is like the Def Leppard of movies right now. It is cursed, cursed, cursed. Apparently someone got a spider bite by a brown recluse in the crew, and they're trying to save his arm because he has sepsis now.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, I have been bitten by a brown recluse. It is not cool. I got
not at all
on my forearm. I was in Kansas City at a festival that we used to do, the radio station we used to do, and I got bit. I reached underneath the staging that we had, and there was like tall grass, and I came up, and there were two. It literally looked like two dots in my arm, and they were like really like insanely large dots. And as it turns out, the whole area, like an oval, swelled up, like there was literally like a football underneath my forearm. And you can't really still see it, but there's still markings right here on my arm. And it swelled up to the point where I had to go to the medical tent, and they took a Sharpie and they drew a circle around the swelling and said, if it exceeds this point, you need to go to the emergency room.
Wow.
So it's not cool. No, it didn't exceed it, but it was, it looked like I had a fist underneath my skin for about 2 weeks. And then,
that was my honeymoon.
And we took, we soak it in hot water, Epsom salts, all that shit to try and get everything to drain. But
that's scary, man.
It's super scary. It's like, it was like having a bicep on my forearm.
That's crazy, man. That they literally, I mean, this is no joke. This is real serious, but we were talking about Rust. So we're going to talk about it again real quick. They literally are trying to save the guy's arm. I mean, the guy
you get necrosis. It's called necrosis. And what it does is it just eats away the skin and bone and muscle and it literally looks like somebody took a branding iron and just burnt a hole in your arm if you get necrosis.
Let's
Yeah,
look this up.
I'm not making it up.
no, I meant let's look up these pictures.
Let's look at this. I don't believe you.
Wait a minute.
Ladies
So
and
how did that happen though? Because they shut down production. They're still hanging out there.
I
Did this happen
guess
recently?
they
I'm sure
are.
they're
I
doing-
guess
maybe they're shooting B-roll or something like that.
They could just be like, doing things around set or resetting things or building sets or something. But either way,
Jay.
this poor guy was he's one of the crew. He does lights and pipes and stuff like that. And he got bit by brown recluse, and they're trying to save his arm.
Jay Hannon asking the question, how many bands out there are called Necrosis? 11.
Thank you, Boner.
The great Jay
Just
Hannon
guessing.
of the band Gizmachi in the house. Thank you.
Who's calling Johnny Beane?
You guys want to call?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, take a call. Let's take a call.
Sure. Hello.
Hi,
the
you're
voice.
on the show.
I have a question for Mancuda and Neanderthal. This is Fret Level Midnight.
Hi, Fret Level Midnight.
Hey, Fret
What
Level.
do they think of that terrible Travis Scott concert tragedy? Specifically about how there was a person who was injecting someone or people there with needles, syringes randomly.
I've heard that.
My concern with this is if you inject someone with a needle or a syringe and that syringe is filled with only oxygen, you can kill them. So that's what I want to know their feelings on.
Well, there's a couple of things. If you want to go first, John, I'll let you go first.
Let's start. I think we'll start with the needles because that's been brought to light recently. That wasn't even in the initial report.
Agreed.
That started coming out recently. I mean, there should have been way more fucking security on this concert. I mean, concerts already have security and whatnot, but this video of these people barreling through metal detectors going through, who knows what the fuck everyone's carrying, but to have needles be popping people, randomly in the crowd. I mean, that's just psychos in the crowd. And they come to every fucking crowd, there's nuts in every crowd. I mean, here's 3 of them, but, the idea that someone's doing that, I mean, that's literally worth going to jail for because you are putting people, who knows? I mean, sharing needles, you can have AIDS, pop someone who has AIDS or HIV.
Is that what started? Is that what started the whole thing? Or were they doing that to people that
No,
is that
there's
how
a
you
whole
got
bunch
in?
of things that went wrong here.
There's a shitload of stuff, but start with the needles, Paulie. Go ahead.
Well, I had heard that.
I heard that too.
I don't know that is verified by any reliable source, and I say that probably in a they're covering their asses sort of way. I don't think anybody officially has acknowledged that, but that certainly has been reported. I will tell you, officially, it's been reported that there was an inordinate amount of Narcan being used by emergency personnel. And for those that don't know, Narcan is an anti-opioid overdose medicine. It's a little needle, like an EpiPen, that type of a deal. And for somebody who has overdosed on an opioid, heroin, whatever it is, they take it, they jam it into, and it's like an adrenaline shot, similar to like what you would see in Pulp Fiction, but not quite as dramatic. And there was a lot of Narcan that was used apparently at this thing. So they're starting to talk about it as
another
they
thing.
don't know what it is. They don't know what it was, is what I'm trying to say. And right, Jay Hannon saying that, the medical examiner and the cops are talking about it, but they haven't they don't know what it was, what the alleged substance was. Here's the thing, as I understand it, and somebody would have to correct me on this because I don't know for sure, but as I understand it, Astroworld is a code for Travis Scott, who is the primary performer at this event. That's
him and Drake were the two headliners.
But as I understand, somebody would have to correct me, but Astroworld is a brand that Travis Scott uses. It's what he uses to describe his brain when he's high as fuck, as the kids have told me. And apparently it's supposed to be this trip fest. So as I understand it, altered reality is a fundamental tenet or conceptual foundation of this festival, kind of like when you go to a rave, everybody expects to be doing ecstasy, that kind of a deal. By the way, I'm not advocating any of it. I'm just saying that's as I understand it's been explained to me. So if this needle thing is a cultural or a behavioral thing that takes place at events like this, kind of like, you know, the keg stands are going to happen at a frat party, that kind of a deal. I think it's I don't know what we're doing here. I don't know what people are doing. I don't know why you would go to a place and suddenly get popped by a needle. Is that supposed to be somewhere that you've been marked or I don't know what it is. You know, the difference, I think, and this is how we discussed it on the show, the difference in crowd behavior at that kind of a show or a rave or you know, a festival show versus what you would see at something like Download, Reading, Ozfest, you know, the Big Four, a metal show, is there's an expectation of pressure up near the barriers. You know, we know that there's going to be a pit. We know that there's going to be, pit etiquette. So when people start to get crushed, there's almost there's an awareness in the crowd to go, hey man, if, you know, we all know if somebody goes down, you help them up. That's a cultural thing that we know in the metal community and in the hard rock world. That's something we're familiar with. Somebody goes down, you help them up. This wasn't that kind of a show. And I would like to give the benefit of the doubt to the crowd that it was more out of ignorance than it was malice that these people got crushed.
Yeah, well, definitely. You don't know if there's 1,000 people in front of you and everyone's running because the show's starting or whatever. You don't know there's people under you until you're like, what did I walk on? You know, you don't know.
But now the thing that and again, the needles thing, I don't understand that. It may be if it is a cultural thing, like people giving each other acid at Woodstock, you know what I mean? I'm not a drug user, so I don't know. But I will say if that is a cultural expectation of a gathering like that, then that was understood as being part of what it is. That said, I can't comprehend it. I certainly wouldn't advocate it, and I wouldn't participate in it. I certainly wouldn't have brought a fucking 9-year-old into that environment.
Oh, yeah.
There is a 9-year-old that is in a medically induced coma right now because his father, who should have CPS at their front door, and I know now is not the time to shit on this guy, but Jesus Christ, man, what were you thinking bringing a 9-year-old into that crowd at that show at that time of night in that arena? Apparently, this father had a 9-year-old on his shoulders, lost consciousness, went down. His kid was separated from him, understandably so. And then when he regained consciousness, he and his son were separated. The son was admitted as a John Doe to an emergency facility in Houston, and it took them hours to be reconnected. What kind of a parent is putting a 9-year-old in that situation? That's been my sort of situation where I'm like, wow, there's so many things that went wrong in this venue. Security,
I believe the youngest death was 10 years old, right?
I guess.
I believe the youngest death was 10. I remember I read 10, 13, 14, and 16. I think 16 was a girl. What are the ages, Johnny?
I don't know. I don't know that part of it. I will tell you. Okay, Garguts Entertainment, that makes sense. But here's the thing. What parent brings a 9-year-old into that environment, a festival environment? And before we start talking about security, because I know you'd brought it up already, John.
Yeah.
There's never enough security. I mean, really, the success of any large gathering of people, whether it's the NFL or the Moscow Music Peace Festival. Remember when the Moscow Music Peace Festival, you had that line of Red Army soldiers in front of the stage? Look, it doesn't matter how you can put 2,500, 5,000 soldiers in front of a stage. You're looking at 65,000 people in front of you. The numbers just don't work. The reason why these concerts work is because there's an understanding of civility and behavioral acceptance. When you get a crowd mentality and somebody who is smaller, weaker, or disabled or in a position of disadvantage, they're fucked. Once they go down, they're fucked. That's not something we're used to because we're so used to being and having come up in the 80s and during the era of thrash metal and speed metal and hardcore punk and slam dancing, we are aware of that culture. We are aware of what to do if somebody goes down, and awareness leads to behavior, and that behavior leads to safety, whether we want to acknowledge it or not. I don't believe the Travis Scott Drake crowd is educated in that sort of etiquette.
No, and again, the bursting down the fucking security gates the way they did, you wouldn't see that at a metal show. You wouldn't. You just wouldn't.
It
Not
doesn't
like
happen.
that.
It
Not
doesn't.
like
Look,
that.
last week, this was a national story. I haven't talked about it, but it was a national story last week. Slipknot played here in town, and they set fire to a bunch of chairs and stuff in the lawn. And it was on national, it was on Blabbermouth and a whole bunch of other sites, Metalwani and Loud, whatever, the Loudwire and all that stuff. And Slipknot, here's the thing. This fire starts in the middle of the lawn area of the amphitheater, and kids are throwing chairs in it. And it's a stupid behavior. It's stupid, but nobody got hurt. It was a dumb thing to do, but there was an understanding. Okay, somebody set a fire. This is fucking stupid. Let's not dance in it. You know what I mean? And even the band was like, okay, we need to stop this and shut this thing down. When you've got crowd, a concert attendees going to the security or the technical staff, guys running spotlights and scissor lifts and going, hey man, someone is getting fucked up over there. And they don't get on the radio and tell somebody at the stage manager to cut the sound and shut this thing down. That's a problem. There's
video of Travis Scott seeing an ambulance drive into the crowd. And he's like, oh, we got someone passed out over there. And he's like, can you feel it? Can you feel it? Or whatever the fuck he was singing. And he's going on. And there's people trying to stop the cameraman saying, stop the show. You got to stop the show. There's a lot of people injured. And he's like, hey, we're streaming, man. I can't stop the show. It's like, by the way, the youngest death was 14. The youngest injured is 9. So, FYI.
Yeah, tossing sod, Christopher, is different. It's different. It's like gobbing. Gobbing is a thing that happens over in Europe, and it's where people spit at the bands, especially at Reading. It used to be a thing at Reading or Donington. I think it was Donington. And they would spit or they would snot at you, and it was a way of... It's a weird, disgusting way of showing approval, communication, acceptance. Those things are disgusting sort of etiquette communication things. But I think universally, if you've ever been at a show when somebody goes down, usually the facility addresses it. Things like Woodstock. Look, Woodstock was 99 was completely understaffed.
Disaster. And they didn't know what to expect. They didn't know
was poorly planned to begin with. But
there was, I'm sorry, there was another death at, I believe, the same facility like earlier in the year that they're looking at now legally, as far as, well, was that another problem with them understaffing it? Because if it was, then, they're looking at, the promoters and the facility and who basically dropped the ball in saying, well, someone died at this earlier event. Did the same thing happen that they did not prepare for? Were they totally negligent in saying, well, it couldn't happen again, and it did in a larger capacity now?
Look, man, I think that, and again, I don't know that now is the time to throw accusations when people are dying.
Sure.
And people are in comas. I will say this stuff like this could lead to the end of live shows, because we are in a position now where people don't want to go to shows to begin with. Ticket prices are as high as the balls on a giraffe. Nobody is going to want to insure a festival show. For those that don't know, and musicians are aware of this, and maybe some people are more aware of it than I'm giving you credit for, but for every festival show, there has to be a certificate of insurance that's taken out, A, for the tour itself, and then B, for the venues. Every venue has to have a certificate of insurance, so that when the event comes in there, in the event somebody gets trampled, in the event somebody is protected, so that you don't have lawsuits like we're about to have. Look, Live Nation is being sued. Travis Scott's being sued. Drake is being sued. I'm sure that the police departments and the security companies are all going to have lawsuits against them. There's going to be all kinds of stuff. That's a horrible
It's a horrible situation overall. It's a
manifestation of-
tragedy.
No, but I'm saying that's a horrible result of when some of these tragedies take place. Is there's the inevitable lawsuit and the responsibility, and because of that, insurance has to be taken out to protect these venues and these promoters and stuff. And all of those prices go up and up and up and up, and it comes out of your pocket as a consumer.
Sure.
We could see, and we were joking about this, but we could see things like Metallica's drive-in thing. Or with the Doro Pesh show. Remember when concerts were just first coming back and these people were doing them and you had to be in your car and they were on a stage 50 yards away and it was being broadcast on a large screen? Or we could just be going back to the era of pay-per-view concerts where, band X, U2 or Bon Jovi or Metallica or whatever the stadium tour is, they have one stage in Los Angeles with a 50 camera shoot set up, and you can go on your television and charge $59.99 and watch it on television from the comfort of your own home. We may be seeing the beginning of the end of live venues because they can't fill them. They can't fill them because people aren't going to shows, and people that are going to shows are paying exorbitant prices. And now the insurance and the safety issues, we could be seeing the end of the concert business the way we know it.
I got to respectfully disagree with that.
I understand.
I'll tell you why. I do think prices will go up. Absolutely. And for the reason you mentioned, the insurance, 100% guaranteed, and the increase in security that they're going to need, and maybe extra barriers and different seating arrangements. It will absolutely increase the cost. With that said, there is something about live music from both an artist point of view and obviously an audience point of view that it's never going to go away, and I don't know if they would go to just more smaller shows or flip-flop it and just more large, bonanza shows, once every 2-3 years or something. But I don't see touring going away. That's the only way bands make money now, is touring and merch.
Well, that's why I say they're going to set up one production in one location and do a pay-per-view. Look, if you said to yourself, like when you talk about a Mike Tyson fight, and I'm using that because I'm old,
Sure.
a Canelo Alvarez fight, if you've got one stage set up at the Hollywood Bowl or I don't know, whatever venue you want to use, Madison Square Garden. All right. So now they've got one stage set up. The crew sets up one stage. It's like a residency show. And they do 4 weekends in a month. So 4 shows in December for Metallica at Madison Square Garden. And you have 4 weekends that you can choose at 4 Saturday nights. And all around the world, for $19.95, you can see Metallica live at Madison Square Garden on your television, on your big screen, and professionally shot with professional sound and mixed and all that stuff, versus a band having to tour around the country with their production and their crew and all the cost and the insurance and all the shit that comes with it. We may be seeing that.
But you know what? I think you'll see both.
Maybe.
Because
You're right.
lot more people enjoy now watching, streaming movies on their home systems than going to the movies since the pandemic. You're going to see a lot of that with concerts. You're going to see more concerts offer streaming as well. I just think that's an opportunity for more money, not less.
Possibly. And look, I prefer to watch sports on television. Now, I say that as somebody who was a season ticket holder in Oakland in the Black Hole, one of the best sports experiences you can have in all of professional football and in all of sports, American sports. It was great. The energy is great. The people is great. It's a fun day. It's an exhausting day. It's a great way to get out and socialize with people. That said, watching a football game on television from the comfort of my own chair with my refrigerator right there and no line for the bathroom and no $30 parking and the aggravation versus... And as I get older, I find myself less willing to dive into the aggravation. My days in the pit are long over. I love them. I love bands. I'll go see bands, but I don't need to be up front anymore. I don't need to be near the monitors anymore. I don't need to slam dance or thrash or mosh anymore.
I still need to be up front.
I can't do any of that. I can't. I don't care. I don't care that much because for all of the things we're talking about. People pushing into you, they spill beer on you, they fucking sing every word to every song in your ear like you were there to hear them fucking perform the show.
I hate that.
Yeah.
I hate
there's
that.
so
That's
many
horrible.
others.
They give you random hand jobs. I mean,
well, that was see, That I could do all the time. See, that's the kind of concert experience that I think everybody should go. Is go to a
I
Killer
agree.
show and get a hand job through your sweatpants. Around your
I'm
sweatpants.
taking Lindy Lynch and Marcy out to whatever show is available.
Yeah, I think
Nerd Halen or something.
Yeah, I think we're always going to see lax in security because there's just never enough security. It's impossible.
Here's
it's
another
impossible to
thing.
have enough.
Here's another thing. Look at the state of the venue. This was an open floor plan from what I saw. This was not.
It's an outdoor, right?
Yeah, this was not going to an amphitheater like Jones Beach for those in New York, where you have rows of seats set up and you're staying in your seat, even though you're not sitting down, you're standing off.
Yeah, it's not Red Rocks. Yeah, it's not Red Rocks, which is awesome.
Yeah, but that's it. You're not in a designated spot that you could stand on the chair and whatever, and there's where you're going to stay that night.
Agreed.
This is all one open floor plan crowd that you're being pushed back and forth like a wave that you can't control. I mean, that's just stupid. That's crazy.
I hate those.
No, I always sit on the floor. I always sit in the floor seats. I like being on the floor. I like being usually in the front few rows. But here was a situation where it's just kind of open floor plan and everyone's packed together like sardines.
I found
against
a photo.
Each other.
This is no way.
Yeah, no, it's
This
bad.
is scary.
It's bad.
It's very scary.
It's bad. The whole thing is bad. It sucks. My thoughts and I'm not a particularly religious person, but my well wishes to those that are dealing with this, the families that are dealing with it. And I will tell you, we spoke with a girl.
Look at that shit.
Yeah, that's something. We spoke with a girl who was there this morning. She's a student from ASU. And I won't use her name, but she is, we didn't use the phone call. We talked to her this morning. She was at the airport in Houston, coming back to Arizona. She's a student and she is fucked up for the rest of her life now. She when we talked to her, she was noticeably disheveled, unstable. She was on the verge of crying. We regret even reaching out to her to talk to her because we almost felt like she agreed to do the interview because she felt obligated as opposed to invested in telling her story. And we just made the decision not to run it. We made the decision not to go with it, not to deal with the phone call, not to talk about her on the air or her experience, because it's clearly a tragedy. No, I don't like the bands. I don't care about the bands. But you know what? The Station nightclub fire, Coconut Grove, Dimebag, I believe it was Donington when Guns N' Roses were filming the Paradise City video where people were crushed up against the barricades. It doesn't matter who the band is or who the artist is. It does matter when you jam that amount of people into a small area with no expectation of safety or breaking down or seats or whatever it is. Bad things can happen.
Oh, absolutely.
And they always have, and they always will. If you don't think that there were assaults and bad scenarios at Woodstock or at Monterey or at the US Festival or at Live Aid or any of, there's always going to be a certain percentage of injury. There's always going to be a certain percentage of drugs and narcotics and alcohol involved. But things like this just sort of bring focus to the fact that maybe festivals should go away. Maybe these kind of festivals should go away and everything should be assigned seating. But even if you put assigned seating on the floor, you saw what happened in Moscow, the Moscow Music Peace Festival. There were chairs on the floor. That wasn't open seating. The Russians made sure that there were rows and rows and rows of chairs for people to sit in. Did they? Nope.
Well, usually they do. I mean, it depends. I mean, I'm just looking at a few things in the chat, by the way. Bozique brings up, I've seen some crazy shit in amphitheaters. A guy was kicked out for getting oral sex from a girl at a show I went to in the 90s, then climbed back in over the wall only to get arrested. That's because it was the 90s, and the 90s sucked. other than like up to 92-ish, you know, when Nirvana came out, that's when it all went to shit. So even oral sex, you could have gotten your dick sucked in an 80s concert. That wouldn't happen in an 80s concert. Metal, please. There were dicks sucked all around. There were dicks sucked. I was leaning on two heads, bobbing up and down on the person in front of me, just trying to rest while watching the show. There was dick sucking all over the fucking place. There was pussy eating. There were legs leaning up behind me on my shoulders from the person behind me at a Poison concert. I didn't even know what was going on. I was just like, oh, someone's ankles. I'll do them the favor and hold it. Meanwhile, skinny bop just blows me away. Yeah, that's because it was the 90s. It was probably a grunge show. With the lights out. Hey, stop the show. Hold on. Who's getting a blowjob while I'm singing this song? Get him out of here, security. Fuck that. If you weren't in your seat in an 80s concert, you were stuck where you were standing from the fucking jizz on the floor. That was an 80s concert. So don't give me that shit. Yeah, no, but seriously,
You're getting Lemmy excited. I'm not sure if you can hear it.
wow. I can hear it. And just so you know, just so you're not jealous, Mary, make no mistake. I would take you to a concert too, but I wouldn't fuck you at a concert because there's no room to fuck someone in a wheelchair at a concert. I have to take you home and then wheelchair fuck you. I have to wheel you to my cock. Wheel you here, wheel you there. Then I have to do this and this and this, all with the wheels rolling. I got to put on the parking brakes. I got to do that in the house. I can't do it in an amphitheater. We could go to a concert, but for sex at a concert, I'm looking at Lindy, and that's it. I'm looking at Marcy. I'm just saying. That's it. Just had to get that out of the way.
What about Janice?
Oh, Janice gets some too. Janice gets some dick. Janice gets some dick. Right now, my mother just turned off the TV. Let's see what's going on with Oh. Yeah. Making you proud, Ma. Speaking of jizz all over the floor, Bang energy drink. Delicious Bang energy drink. Yum, yum, yum. Give me some cum. When you want some Bang energy drink to wash that load out of your mouth, delicious flavors like cotton candy, 20-something flavors, Bang energy drink, 0 sugar, tons of caffeine. Oh boy, Bang energy drink. Thank you, Bang energy drink.
Lemmy's very happy because I'm scratching behind her ears. She's very happy.
Is that what that is?
Yeah, she's
that's
very happy.
Oh, hi, Allie.
She's such a good girl. Lemmy doesn't get excited very often, so I'm very happy to see that she's having fun. She's an old dog, and she spends most of her time sleeping. So the fact that she's involved in the show tonight is a good thing.
Nice.
Yep, I know, baby.
Yeah, so look, terrible tragedy. The biggest thing, though, is the guy was still singing. The guy was still performing.
Well, look, Guns N' Roses were still performing when those people died during Paradise City. I mean, you can't blame the artist. You can't blame the artist, though. He can't. I mean, there are supposed to be people there that there's an argument to be made. And I don't know that I agree with it, but it's certainly a tangible, logical concept. And that is, if he stops the show, one person is getting hurt and potentially dying in the crowd. If he stops the show, 50,000 people are mad, and you get a St. Louis incident.
Yeah. You get somebody on the total opposite side of the crowd not knowing what's going on. They get mad because the music stopped because they're messed up.
There's a
from who knows what.
But you know what? He could stop singing. I'm sorry. He could stop singing and say, you know what? We need some time to evacuate some people. Something's going on. Blah, blah, blah.
I agree.
And they could go back on stage, just a temporary hold after a while, But
you're asking for 50,000 people many of whom are either intoxicated or medicated by narcotics, to behave and understand and be sympathetic and empathetic to the plight of other individuals. And that is, in 2021, an unrealistic expectation. We are selfish. We are myopic. We are completely disrespectful of others' needs and safety. It's just the way we are in America, and it's an ugly truth. What happened in St. Louis, when Guns N' Roses played, the riot at the amphitheater. Now, yes, that was Axl being an asshole, but we're at a different place now. We're at a place now where if somebody stops and says, "Hey, man, somebody in the crowd is getting hurt. We need to pause the show for a while." "Fuck you, don't pause the show. I paid a lot of money for this, blah, blah, blah. You fucking suck." And now they start throwing things. So now somebody behind you goes, "Hey, man, what the fuck? These people are getting hurt over here. Fuck you, man." And now we've got an issue. The artist's job is to continue on. And you heard this all the time. When something is going wrong, don't draw attention to it. Continue. There are people whose job it is to handle the safety,
like the
and
chat
security.
When we got a troll in the chat, you ignore it.
Yeah, if you got to keep going. You got to keep going and do your thing and finish the show, because remember, the one person and the three people around them know what's going on. Person 55,000 in the back there has no fucking idea what's happening in the front, and they've come to see the show. I'm not saying I agree with it.
I hear you.
It's a logical concept.
I do hear what you're saying, but I don't know. That's a hard one. That's a real hard one.
I'm with you. I would love to say, and look, I've got, we played, when we were talking about this, we talked about other shows. Linkin Park actually stopped the show and said, and actually had hey, if someone goes down, what do you do? And the whole crowd goes, "Help them up." So it's like, you sort of educate the crowd. I've got audio of Robert Plant, from 1973, 75, stopping Led Zeppelin shows going, "Hey man, you guys are fighting in the front. There's plenty of fights happening outside. If you want to do that, go outside. Calm down, or we'll stop the fucking show."
Yeah.
It's a universal thing. People acting like assholes at concerts has been there since day one, and it will be there until concerts stop happening. This is a fucking tragedy, no matter how it spins out. I don't care who the artist is, and I know a lot of people in the chat are like, "Fuck those bands, fuck pop artists." It's not about the artist; it's about the environment. That could be you, that could be your kid, that could be your friend's kid, it could be your sister.
Yeah.
Anytime we go to a show.
But with that said, it is a different crowd. It's a different crowd than we'll see it like, AC/DC. It really is.
Yeah, but you see fights at AC/DC shows. You see assholes at AC/DC shows.
A fight, sure.
You see people get crushed.
But that's different. That's different.
But
it's
John,
the same. It's all the same concept.
You're not being legitimate. You're not being legitimate here, John. You and I both know. You go to any concert anywhere. At the barricade, there's a nonstop brigade of kids being pulled over the front that are going to be crushed against the barricade. The security guys pick them up.
That's true.
They walk them down the funnel, back off into the crowd, and they run off back into the night, and they're excited. There's a constant flow of kids being crushed against the barricade that are being picked up. And in this situation, too much, too fast, overwhelmed the people that were. Look, those security guards didn't do anything wrong. They're fucking being paid $12 an hour or $15 an hour to try and stand in front of the stage and keep people from jumping up onto the stage. They don't really have medical training. How many security guards or bouncers that are fucking first responders?
I agree with that aspect. I do. And make no mistake, no matter how much security you have, you're not going to stop 50,000 fucking people running at once. Right. With that said, I think there should have been more security at the door. I think they should have definitely let them in slower. I mean, that you saw the videos, those gates were just being knocked down, metal detectors going off, gates being knocked down totally. I mean, you would not see that at a rock concert. I've never seen it at a rock concert, not like that. And I think there should be some dividers in the audience in some way, be it chairs or whatever.
A lot of people are referencing the Altamont thing. I have some friends that have intimate knowledge of that show. And there are those who believe that there was a knife or a gun involved. And that's why security, which was provided by the Hells Angels Motorcycle Club, acted in the way they did. That said, hiring security at a venue is a very important. I'm going to have to take the dog out in a second. It's a very important facet. A lot of times in a lot of bars, who ends up being the bouncer or the security? It's some frat boy asshole that's on the rugby team at their local university who's just looking to tune somebody up. And that can also exacerbate a situation. I don't know that that was the case in this scenario, but sometimes security are just thugs with a t-shirt that want to fuck with people. I don't believe that. I think that's an apples and oranges conversation for this scenario.
Yeah, no, that is different. That is different.
It's just a different thing. So I know people are bringing up Altamont. Altamont's not the same. That's not the same. This now. The needles thing, and I don't know enough about that to comment on it.
And that's not totally confirmed. We've all heard various things about it. So there's got to be something going on, but it's not
at some point
in the news confirmed yet. Yeah,
at some point it's a duck. You have to admit it. But the idea of a crowd being pushed to the front and being crushed and that kind of thing. Look, the Who, Riverfront Coliseum, 1979. We saw it at both Woodstocks. We probably saw it in the 60s. We didn't have social media back then. I'm sure people were hurt at Live Aid. I'm sure people were hurt at the US Festival. I mean, it's a common occurrence. It's not common that 8 people get crushed. And I think it's more notable because we have social media, because people have cell phones, because they have TikTok, and there's this instant response to it. Because I bet you if you go through any tour, you'll find a significant amount of injuries. And look, what was the kids? What show was it? I want to say it was either Europe. Was it in Europe where some couple of Metallica fans fell from a fucking bridge going to or coming?
Oh wait, no, wasn't it like a lighting rig or something?
No. That's part of the show. No.
I'm not talking that. Wasn't there something where someone was climbing up on the lighting rig? Not the part of the show where someone's actually, that's a setup. But like, I thought I remember something where like fans got up on one of the lighting banisters on the stage and wound up taking a dive.
It's possible. I mean, people fall out of balconies at shows at Giant Stadium, as you know, that's happened. They fall during baseball games. They fall during football games. Shit happens. I'm not justifying it. I'm just saying the odds are when you've got that amount of people in a small enclosed space, bad things could happen. In this scenario, bad things did happen, and there was certainly a breakdown in either observation or process or whatever went wrong. It went wrong, and 8 people are dead, and 300 people are hurt, and there's a 9-year-old kid in a fucking coma. And there's nothing funny or good that comes from that.
No,
that's
the bottom line of it.
We make jokes on this show, but there's nothing funny about this topic at all. It ends badly for everybody, and it could ruin the live music experience.
Mm-hmm.
Well, whatever it did, Lindy Lynch says.
So thanks for the question, Fret Level. Good night.
Yeah, thank you for the question.
Thanks for the call.
Yeah. Want Mary to call in. We'll have a little phone sex.
Don't do this. Don't.
Mary, call in.
Don't
Mary,
do this.
Call
Please
in,
don't.
Mary.
Mary. I've been thinking about your wheelchair.
Baby, let's get it on.
Can I get on?
Squeaky wheelchair.
I'm gonna take your adult diaper off and lick that putty.
Don't. Jesus, man, come on.
Whacking through that weed, that thatch on top your crotch.
I'm guessing it looks like a slice of turkey that was left out all afternoon.
I'm guessing there's a tumbleweed on top of it that I'll have to chew through to get to what I want.
Why? And by the way, all of that said, while we just to put a wrap on the whole concert thing, if you see somebody that looks like they're getting fucked up at a show, help them up, or bring them over to the med tent if you can. I mean, don't just sit there with your drink in your hand and look at them and go, "Oh, that sucks."
With that said, if they're diving for the same guitar pick you are, beat the shit out of them. Yeah, no, don't take
the elbow.
No,
people's
fuck that,
elbow.
man. You motherfucker.
Hell yeah, man.
You got to get that pick or that drumstick, man. Yeah. There you know, joke. Speaking of picks, wonderful Swiss picks Worth diving for, worth beating the shit out of someone for in a concert. Wonderful Swiss picks. Proud sponsor, Johnny Beane. Look at that beautiful set of raised holes. Giggity.
Wow.
You know, they
Get
make a
your
cream.
grip on. I can't.
If you see something,
it's like glue.
if you see something pink, if you see something pink with holes like that and raised texture on it, call your doctor. That's a problem.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought you meant something else.
Where is it? Speaking of those picks,
We
Swiss
were?
pick.
did
Yes, we
did
were.
did the winner of those picks on the Halloween show, have they been contacted?
I gave you the list, Johnny.
Does anyone know who they are?
Johnny, you had one job. I gave you the list of prize winners for the Halloween costume contest. You got all the phone
right.
calls. You got all
If
the
somebody's
texts. You got all
watching
the
this,
emails.
and you won those, let me know.
I'll tell you who the three people are that won the Swiss Picks Halloween editions. Hold on. The three Swiss Picks winners were Clayton James Hicks as Paul Stanley, Mike Neese as Spooky Proposal, and Yostinator, Prisoner and Sexy Cop. Those were the three
Okay.
winners of the Halloween edition Swiss Picks.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
We had a lot. We gave away a lot of prizes on Halloween. If you guys haven't watched the Johnny Bean second annual Great Johnny Bean Halloween Costume Contest video that was on Saturday Night Live, where we were all in great costumes and giving away tons of valuable prizes.
Was it good?
I wasn't there either, but my cousin Morty was. I heard
I was
Mitch
busy that
Malloy
night.
made an appearance.
I don't know who you're talking about.
I heard Mitch Malloy made a concert appearance. You know, it's really funny. Speaking of Mitch Malloy, David Reese, does that name ring a bell, Paulie?
Except, yeah.
The singer of Accept, as well as Bangalore Choir and Bonfire. Did you know that he was almost in Judas Priest in 1996, but got
I heard
beat
that.
out? Got beat out by Ripper Owens, Tim Ripper Owens. I'm wondering, will we soon see the David Reese experience?
Davis Reed's Priest?
The David Reese Priest experience,
No.
where he was almost in, just like Mitch Malloy was almost in Van Halen, but not really.
Never
Judas
happened.
Reese.
Yeah, nice. Well done.
David Reese.
Yeah, David Reese, he was on the Accept album that nobody cared about.
What was that, 89?
Yeah, he left after Udo left. He was
And
on the. By the way, the guy that sings for Accept Now, Mark Tornillo, is fucking outstanding. He was the lead singer for TT Quick, and he does a great job. It's I would say Mark Tornillo in Accept is similar to John Bush in Anthrax. Not the same,
But still
equally,
good.
But
It's still
equally
really
good.
good.
Yeah, equally good. Mark Tornillo is a very, very good metal vocalist, and he doesn't get really the credit he deserves. Accept has made a couple of very, very good albums with him, but like Judas Priest, like Iron Maiden, I don't believe the fans give a shit.
I don't believe they do either. However, with that said, I will just say David Reese is not really trying to do that. I was making the joke because
Yes.
he's in the same exact position as Mitch Malloy, you know, where he was a known vocalist brought in to audition for and possibly be in a well-known band, but didn't get the gig, you know. And by the way, if you haven't heard Bangalore Choir, I highly recommend it. I really, really like that album.
Yeah, decent band.
Really, really good. Angel in Black, really good song. Speaking of really good songs and really good music, have you heard, Paulie, have you heard the new Crazy Licks album, Street Lethal?
No, I have not. But I do have
Okay.
the Racer X album, Street Lethal.
I was about to say it's the same name as the Racer X album, but Crazy Licks, and this is a band that regular viewers of the show know Jay Hannon turned me on to. I'm a big fan of Heat. I'm a big fan of Crazy Licks. I think they're probably the two best glam bands out there today making new 80s style hair metal. And the new Crazy Licks, someone asked me last week if I had heard it. I hadn't. And I spent all day listening to it today before we went on. And it's really fucking good. And this is like their 7th studio album that's really fucking good. So if you watch this show and you have not gotten on the train yet of Heat or Crazy Licks, here's your chance. Get on the train now. Listen to the new Crazy Licks. It's on YouTube right now if you want to sample it before you buy it. And I always recommend be like Paulie and I, where we buy the physical product so that the band makes money. The new Crazy Licks is really, really good. Anthem for America. And this is, mind you, this is an anthem for America by a Swedish band. So they were questioned in an interview recently. They're like, oh, well, we're not American. No, but this is for America. This is a song an American band should write, but they're too busy squabbling right now with politics. But it's really, really badass. It's really cool. Anthem for America. Thief in the Night is really good. Rise Above is good. One Fire, One Goal is a great track. It's a really, really cool album. I highly recommend that you all check it out if you have not. Does anyone out there have it?
Our friend Jay Hannon is a big fan of Crazy Licks. Well, and his daughter Ellie, who is clearly should be an executive producer of this show, is also high up on that band. A good band.
Mm-hmm.
Great band. Great
every
band.
time we talk on Messenger, I can hear in the background they've got it playing.
He's got Crazy Licks playing.
Mm-hmm.
Jay, do you have, if Jay's still in the chat, Jay, do you have this album yet? Their new one? Because it's really good.
Yeah.
JBL. It's really, really good. Like I said, someone last week asked me to listen to it. I did. I was going to listen to it anyway, and I did it today, and I'm really glad I did. Even watching the videos they come up with, you'd swear they're like 80s videos. I mean, they're playing 80s guitars, they're dressed 80s, they got the hair, they got the attitude. Really, really great. Really, really great stuff.
So does that mean in a few years they'll go grunge?
Yeah, I know, right? Will they fuck us all exactly like they did in 1992 with Nirvana? At some point, will they darken our door with shit music? I don't know, but for right now, it's really good. I highly recommend it. That's your mission tonight. If you guys are all watching, check out the new Crazy Licks Street Lethal album. Check out a couple of the tracks I just mentioned. Really good stuff. It's an 11-track CD, and buy it. Support bands like that. Just like I say, support our sponsors. Support bands like that that's doing the music that you like. They're not doing, Swiss picks right there. Those are the ones you want to try.
Support that mouse before
That's
Ned
right.
gets them.
Yeah, because they support us. And if you like metal music, that's a band that does that type of music for you. They do that because they love it. They do that because, they like the genre and they want to support the genre.
Just don't play it backwards.
Yeah, yeah.
Right?
Satan. Yeah,
Steve
100 in the chat. Please leave a thumbs up. Take a minute. Leave a thumbs up on the video. Because why not? It's free. Paulie, do you know, by the way, why Vince Neil cannot sing?
Is it because he's fat, out of shape, has his sinus cavities have been completely deteriorated by decades of cocaine use?
That is part of the reason. Do you know the real reason, though?
Talentless?
You're getting warmer. Who in the chat knows the real reason that Vince Neil cannot sing?
Because he's Vince Neil.
Is that your guess, Johnny?
Yeah.
I'm gonna see what guesses we got in the chat.
Hey, tell your woman to shut her goddamn mouth, John. That noise is just unnecessary. You're distracting from the show.
Wow. Damn you, shrew!
She can't hear me, can she?
No, she can't.
No, she can't
Well,
hear
much like my mother, she's probably only partially watching.
me.
All right, let's see. Guesses in the chat. He doesn't know how to sing. fat, doesn't exercise his vocal cords.
Fact.
He never could in the first place. He's
Oh my
phoning it
gosh.
in because he killed a guy. Wow, Steve Carmichael. That
Nice
got dark
callback.
quick.
That was a
Rest in
callback.
peace, Razzle.
Nice callback.
Too much
Look,
plum
he
sauce
wasn't-
on
by the
his
way, he
Kung Pao
wasn't-
chicken.
Well, he wasn't formally trained. A lot of those guys aren't formally trained. So, there's a lifespan, for the voice for those who aren't formally trained. It's a bad deal.
That is true, but I think you're going to really be surprised at the real answer.
I don't think I am.
He has 2 stomachs and 1 lung. He forgot the words. Too much plastic surgery. He doesn't try. Too much plum sauce on his Kung Pao chicken.
Wow.
Vocal cord polyps.
That's very specific.
Yeah, that was really specific. Right now, they're looking outside. They're looking outside the kitchen door at Vince chowing down a big pile of Chinese food, and it's one of the cooks calling in. Hello?
Mhm.
Too much plum sauce on his Kung Pao chicken. We did that intentionally. He sings through his nasal passage. Too much cocaine. There's a lot of guesses. None of them are right. The real answer. Thank you, John. He's a fucking international spy. Duh. None of you guys or girls knew that. And now it can all be told. It's finally revealed as Motley Crue is coming out with the Dirt graphic novel telling the true story of Motley Crue's secret life as international spies.
Oh, God.
Johnny, dig that up because I want to show images from this shit.
Wow.
And wait, it gets better. There's
No, it
multiple.
doesn't. No.
Oh,
it
yes,
doesn't.
yes, it
Well,
does.
Because I don't think it could get much worse. Oh, my God, Motley Crue. What are you doing? Here's the thing. I am, as much as I have been to, I don't know, a bazillion Motley Crue shows, and I own the catalog, and I met my first serious high school girlfriend at a Motley Crue show. I think Motley Crue's overrated. I really do. I think their good songs are fucking outstanding.
I love
I don't-
Motley Crue, man.
But I don't think there are a lot of good Motley Crue songs. The ones I love. But overall, Motley Crue is incredibly successful and I think incredibly lucky, combined with Nikki Sixx's incredible work ethic. I don't think they're anywhere near as good as Def Leppard. I don't think they're anywhere near as good.
I'm glad
as-
somebody's finally saying this because I've thought this for years.
You're right, Johnny. They're just not that good.
No, look,
They're
I
not
disagree.
that
I
good. They're a
disagree. I
party.
love
They're
Motley
a great
Crue.
party, but they're not that fucking good. Their great songs are great. There's undeniable. They have a greatest hits collection that every song on the greatest hits collection is fantastic. That's great. They got like fucking 12 albums out and 13 good songs. The good songs are great. They're great. Their good songs are fucking great. They're undeniable. But for a band to be feted as being one of the greatest metal bands, hard rock hair bands of all time, they're just not that good.
Hold on, Johnny, go on the Blabbermouth link. The Blabbermouth
They're
link
a
is
great party. That's the thing. Motley Crue is a great experience. They're not a great musical outfit. They're a great experience. Yes, they epitomize everything about the LA Strip. Yes, beautiful girls go to their shows. Yes, their characters and their excess are fucking well known, and they are a walking train wreck. They are reality television before there was reality television. The drama and the legend and all of the shit that surrounds Motley Crue makes Motley Crue what they are, but they're not that fucking good. And so when I hear people like when they're like, Motley Crue is going to be in a graphic novel, shut the fuck up. Stop it.
It's not even just a graphic novel. It's Motley Crue, The Dirt graphic novel that basically shows that they had a secret life all along through their career, that Motley Crue was just a cover, code name CRUE, which stands for something. I don't know what the fuck it stands for, but wait till you see these images.
My head hurts.
And I love Motley Crue. I think that they are a good band.
I do too.
Really do.
I think they're overrated. That's all I'm saying. Is they're not that good. That said, I've seen them on every fucking tour. I love the 1994 album with Karabi. I'm Tommy Lee for a brief period of time, and I were fucking tangential friends. They're just not that good. I'm amazed at how much run they get, how legendary that band is.
So here's the Dirt declassified. You have to realize Motley Crue was the quintessential hair band image. They had the image, they had the costumes, they had the song, and Home Sweet Home. How long was that on MTV's Top 20 Video Countdown? Every time you came home,
I loved it when it was called Imagine.
One of the best videos ever.
I loved it when it was called Imagine, and then it was called Dream On. It was just another, and that piano line is Imagine, and it's Dream On, and it's a great power ballad. I get it. The timing, Motley Crue, the experience is fucking outstanding. But
hold on one second.
The amount of legendary, the level of legendary, like putting them on. And by the way, I agree that, you know, when we talk about big fours, there's always big fours, big three, big four.
Sure.
Motley Crue is clearly one of those.
That's what I tell girls. I say it's a big four.
They're clearly, you know, they're in the hair band world.
Hold on, Paul.
Motley Crue and Def Leppard and Bon Jovi and everyone else. I get it.
Hold on, Paul. Johnny, go to z2comics.com. That's the link I want you to go to. z2comics.com. Go ahead, Paul. I'm so sorry.
It's just don't. It's just I am stunned at how reverential people consider Motley Crue.
Well, you have to realize they were early on.
Yeah, I know.
They were right there early. They came out of the gate with something hard like Livewire, which was terrific. Yeah, you know, good looking guys in the costumes, epitomizing the strip, you know, basically really ruling the Sunset Strip at one point.
I get it.
You know,
and I think they were marginally more talented than Wasp. I think that Rat wrote better songs, but Rat is not interesting. Rat is not an interesting band. And their dysfunction and their, you know, I think there are several other bands that were better than Motley Crue. That said, Motley Crue is a combination. It's the same thing with Nirvana. It's the same thing with some other bands that I think are super. I can't understand why they're as big as they are. Motley Crue is a great example of timing, talent, and tenacity.
I agree with all that.
Yeah, they had enough talent, but they had great timing. Somebody had to be the band that epitomized that scene, and Motley Crue fit the bill perfectly. And they had a great record company behind them, and they were great on MTV, and there was just enough about Motley Crue, just talented enough musically with a whole bunch of personality that made them work. And God love them for it.
No, look, this, by the way, that you're seeing on the screen, this is the deluxe version. Okay. So yeah, you guys thought I was joking about this shit, right? You're like, oh man, Kuda, you're so funny. This is a joke. No, this shit's real. This is real. Okay. So the deluxe version.
All of this would have been great in 1986.
Yeah. Again, they're capitalizing on the Dirt and the stadium tour. And I mean, look, I don't blame them. You know, I don't necessarily want this version. This is the platinum edition or the deluxe edition, whatever the fuck they're calling it. It's $99.99, or they have time payments. You could do it $34 a month. So this comes with, you know, all you see here, basically plates showing them in their spy motif. If you click on those individual plates, Johnny, you'll see that, it's Vince making a sly phone call before a concert.
I'm listening.
It's,
I got to go take care of the dog.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Mick Mars has a gun hidden in his guitar case. I think, let's see, Tommy, I don't even know what Tommy's doing. He's probably using his cock as a weapon because that thing's massive. And Nikki is, I guess, a knife expert or something. But they're supposedly an international spy team of some sort. And it comes with a special cover and fake Motley Crue backstage passes and stuff like that. And all sorts of things for this deluxe version. Then you get to the standard edition and it looks like this. Just go to my camera real quick, Johnny. There's your basic soft cover. That's the version I'm gonna get because I don't need all that other stuff. Not for $99. And nothing against Crue. I love Crue merch. I have tons of shirts and other fun Motley Crue things. I read the Dirt hardcover, et cetera, et cetera. But I will buy this soft cover. I will buy this graphic novel. That's $24. I'll go for that. I think it's interesting. But I think the priority right now really should be directed at Vince getting him to sing in tune and remembering the lyrics. Maybe if Vince reads the book, he'll remember some of the lyrics. Maybe it'll trigger something in him. I don't know. But I mean, look, it's a wacky kind of thing, How many of you are interested in buying something like that? I'm just curious. Yeah, I guess Pam Anderson was pussy galore. She sure was. I'm curious how many people are going to buy this and which version. Are you going to spend the $99 on the one with all the, the plates and the backstage passes and all the, the special hardcover edition, or are you going to get the $24 basic soft cover or not at all? I'm going to get the soft cover because number one, I'm a comic book geek. So I'm going to get that anyway. Number two, I love Motley Crue. I do. As much as I break on Vince for not singing lately, I'm just kind of pissed at him that, he hasn't got his shit together. He has a responsibility to get his shit together. If you've taken on the large paycheck of a stadium tour, you owe it to your fans to get your shit together. But I am going to get it in its basic version just to read the story and tell you guys about it. And I'm curious. Let's see. Christopher Live Sawa, no. Fret Level Midnight, no. Let's see. Can't Try 55, no. Jeff Davidson, no. Hellstorm, no.
And are you guys like really big fans of Motley Crue that are saying no? Like mega fans? Who's a mega fan that's saying no?
I'm gonna get a regular one, but we put up a little survey if you guys want to answer that. I'm seeing a lot of no's in there. Yeah, if you're not a Crue fan, it's not for you. I'm asking for anyone that is a fan of Motley Crue. If you're not a regular fan of Motley Crue in general, this is definitely not for you, because you're not going to buy their albums. You're not going to buy their book. You're not going to watch, the Dirt movie. It's just not for you. But I am curious, if you're a Crue fan, which I am, are you going to buy one? And if so, what version?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look, this is something Kiss would do, Kiss has done all sorts of comics, but you kind of expect it from Kiss, and we buy it like all sorts of Kiss weird merch and stuff anyway. This is kind of new ground for Crue, to this level. I don't see a lot of people at all interested in buying this.
Well, that doesn't even look like that guy.
That's Spy Vince making a secret phone call during a concert at Gazzari's. You like that? Gazzari's, the old Sunset Strip club behind him in the early days of Motley Crue. He's making a secret phone call, clearly.
This actually looks kind of, this looks like some kind of like fan club type of thing.
Yeah, I mean, this totally looks fan clubby. I mean, look, the art is nice. I like the art, whoever's doing the artwork.
It's kind of cool, but yeah, it's.
Let's see the others. There's Vince. So Vince is obviously the face man of the gang. And there's Mick Mars. He's got a gun under the guitar case. So he's obviously the looks that kill guy. Johnny, can you zoom in on that? Because it looks like a file specifying their specialties.
Yeah, I'm zoomed.
Zoom, zoom, zoom. Okay, well, obviously Mick Mars is the assassin of the team, or at least the gun-toting assassin of the team. Then you got, let's see, who's this one? All right, that's Nicky. Looks like he's got knives or something. Like he's a knife thrower. Yeah, Lenny Lou agrees with me on the artwork. The artwork does look cool, and I'm a big comic book fan, so the artwork, is part of it for me. Jesus rapes me. How broke are these guys? Well, listen, if the stadium tour doesn't go through with Motley Crue, they're going to be very broke. They're going to be taking massive losses. And then let's see who you got. Then you got Tommy. Tommy's got a bazooka in his pants, I guess. He drinks and whips his cock out. That's his special spy power. Hey, Kevin Bethel, don't insult 70s Hanna-Barbera cartoons. That shit was cool. G. Bushnoff, Kiss comic books. They've done Kiss comic books for many years and many different companies. The original ones for Marvel were the coolest. And then they went to all different companies. I don't even know who was doing them. See, Crue Global Ops, a.k.a. Vince Neil. You thought he was posing as a singer. No, he's really a super secret spy.
I mean, this seems like something that would have been cool back when they were actually really big.
This would have been cool in the 80s.
In the 80s, like this looks like fan club type of stuff to me.
Yeah, and listen, in the 80s we would have been buying everything. Matt Stewart says does Vince Neil have a donut in his hand? Maybe that's his secret weapon. He eats his enemies. Tommy Lee. They should just show a photo of his dick. Right there. Was that Nicky? International Cruise, super secret spies. I had no idea that I thought they were a band. They really posed like a band. I always was suspicious something was going on because of Vince's lack of singing. Like, how are they still doing this? Government subsidized spies. And look, there's a Operation Crew pen. You got to really be like a total crew head to want the Motley Crue pen. I like their music and I don't want that shit. Now this I don't understand what this is. This is I think this is like a blacklight secret poster. Is that what that is? Does it say what that is, Johnny?
Base. I think it's just a picture of I mean, obviously it's a map of LA. I think it's just a kind of showing places they went or whatever. Like it's a secret base.
Gazzari's, Mel's Diner.
Yeah, it says secret base. It says equipment depot.
It's a secret treasure map. Secret treasure map. On the back of the Declaration of Independence.
Which, with this map, you'll be getting a lot of these heavy duty Crue nerds going to these locations to like take
Oh, yeah.
selfies.
Oh yeah, no, they'll be
Holding the
going to
map,
they'll be
like-
going to the Rainbow trying to see if there's something buried in booth number 7 in the corner. I'm sure Vince left some treasure here or some clue. It's a Motley clue.
See, all of this would be great if this were 1987,
Right?
and I were fucking 21, you know, or 19, but what? Who gives a shit? I mean, don't get me wrong. Good for Motley Crue. Good for Motley Crue. More power to them. They're, you know, Joe Elliott once said, recently that Def Leppard.
Hellstorm.
Def Leppard are making more money now than they did in their heyday.
That sounds good.
And I
Hot
know
chicken.
That does, right?
yeah, hot chicken would be great.
Yeah.
I know a couple of my friends who are in bands that are you know, third level. You know, you got your premier 80s bands, then you got the other level, and then third, fourth level, those bands. And they are making a very nice living right now, 40 years after their heyday. So if Motley Crue is able to get people to buy this, great. But it seems like Wooderson going back for homecoming weekend. It just seems like I find it very difficult to be invested in 60 and in mixed case almost 70-year-old Motley Crue. It's difficult to be 60 years old and be in Motley Crue. Motley Crue is not a concept that ages well. It's a young man's concept. You know, all of that hairband stuff doesn't age well. It certainly is the music
Blasphemy.
of our youth. No, it's the music of our youth.
Moldy Crew.
It would, yeah. It's just so
no.
It's just it's so difficult to like. They just announced that WASP is doing a tour. I don't know if you've seen Blackie recently, but he looks like he ate the other guys in the band.
Blackie looks like what's her name from Heart?
Yeah, he looks like Ann Wilson.
Ann Wilson. There you go.
By the way, and Ann Wilson, a beautiful woman, but a beautiful large woman. And I'm not shitting on her. I think she's super talented. And if Blackie
she absolutely is.
If Blackie had a modicum of the talent that Ann Wilson had, I would be interested in seeing this show. But who the fuck wants to see 60-something-year-old Blackie Lawless on stage, fat and out of shape, with a fucking buzzsaw coming out of his codpiece?
Make no mistake, I still love their music, and look, you got Ozzy Osbourne, and he's still making new music. Yeah,
but there's a difference.
Back.
Dawkins sucks.
Well, hold on. Dawkins
sucks.
Hold on. Dawkins going back in the studio to make a new one. I don't think they should, but make no mistake, I just saw a video the other day of George Lynch guest appearing in a couple of songs, sitting in with Dawkins, and George is that age, and the guy's flying down the fretboard. He's terrific.
There's a difference between seeing a guy who can still play guitar and trying to do Motley Crue or WASP shows. So that's the thing about Dawkins.
I don't know if Blackie can still sing or not. I know Don Dawkins cannot.
That's my point. My point is this: when you are a guitar player in a band that is nondescript, and let's face it, Dawkins fairly nondescript. There's a reason why Dawkins never made Motley Crue's level of success, or Bon Jovi's level of success, or Def Leppard's level of success, and that's because they have no personality. It's not because they didn't write good songs. Dawkins wrote good songs. Dawkins wrote borderline great songs. Some of the Dawkins stuff is fucking fantastic. All right.
I agree.
Same thing with Rat. Rat wrote great songs. As I said, I think that Rat wrote better songs overall in their catalog than Motley Crue, but Rat has no fucking personality. Badlands, Blue Murder, Tesla, Tora, Spread Eagle, a lot of these bands that were Bangalore Choir, if you want to. These guys wrote great music, but they weren't fucking interesting. The problem with being interesting is when you are no longer interesting, it becomes a detriment to you. David Lee Roth, Red Hot Chili Peppers. There's just something sad about seeing 60-year-old Motley Crue or 60-year-old Wasp, or it just doesn't work. It doesn't work anymore. Kiss works because they have the makeup, and because they have the makeup over their faces, and they still put on a great goddamn show. There's perpetual youth there. Motley Crue was predicated upon youth. Skid Row, watching Sebastian Bach sing Slave to the Grind now is sad because it looks like your grandmother is singing her favorite songs from high school.
But he can still sing, and that's my point. I don't care. Look, we're all going to get old.
Right.
I mean, maybe not me, because tomorrow I turn 29.
29, right,
but,
sure.
Yeah, but we're all going to get old. And the fact is, I don't care if a band gets old. Look at the Rolling Stones, for fuck's sakes. I mean, they're walking dead, but man, are they performing. But Aerosmith, same thing.
There's the great thing about Aerosmith and Rolling Stones. It wasn't shtick. And Motley Crue and Wasp are shtick. The only guy that has been able to do shtick and make it work better now than he did in his prime is Alice fucking Cooper. He's the only one of them that has gotten
there's another
better
good example. There's another good example. And
it's the only good example. It's the only example of that.
I don't see a lot of hair bands as shtick. I mean, obviously it was during a time that's the style of music. And during that style of music, look, a lot of bands can still carry the tunes. A lot of them can. Some of them, however, cannot because of the vocalist.
But but carrying the tunes isn't the issue. It's the show. It's the image. Nobody wants to see Motley Crue get up there and stand around on their little spots on stage. They want to see the strippers. They want to see the running across the stage. You know, if you want to see a boring band like that, go see the Cars. Go see, you know,
and you I'm sure you will still see the strippers. They won't be the same strippers as in the 80s. They won't be the same nasty habits. They'll be the daughters of the nasty habits.
Granddaughters.
Look, if you look at some of these rock star wives, they're fucking, hot 20-year-old pieces. And, they're still getting some beautiful tail, even though they're like 90 years old, because they're rock stars. They're rich. They're gold digging girls, whatever it is. But the fact is, Steel Panther is a great example, Kenter I-55, but they're intentional shtick. They are doing a shtick.
And they're not real.
But
they're not
but
a band.
The music is. The music is.
But they're not a band that came out in 1982. Do you know why Steel Panther works? Steel Panther works because it's a parody of the stupidity of the 80s. Because none of those guys, respectfully, made it. None of those guys. Ralph is a super talented singer, but he's a super talented cover singer. Russ is a fantastic guitar player, but he had his moments in Fight and a couple of other things. None of the things,
even
those
Fight
guys,
wasn't much of a moment.
My point is, they had opportunity to break out and be Motley Crue or Dokken or Rat or Black and Blue or Keel or whatever other strip band you want to mention, and it didn't happen for them. They weren't even Rock's Gang. They weren't even, Bang Tango. They never even made it to that level. And so their shtick is predicated upon the shtick. There's nothing real there. Motley Crue were serious. Motley Crue were serious about being Motley Crue. And watching 60-year-old Motley Crue and 60-year-old Wasp and 60-year-old, look, Raven, it's not funny watching Wacko in the fucking hockey helmet in the six. It just doesn't work. Looking at guys like where's another one? I mean,
AC/DC.
AC/DC's not a shtick.
Iron Maiden.
Iron Maiden's not a shtick.
But Motley Crue is not a shtick. It has gimmicks, but it's not a shtick. It's not like Steel Panther.
If Motley
Steel Panther
Crue
is a shtick,
Motley Crue can't go out on stage in a denim jacket and denim jeans and boots and play their stuff and do a good show.
Sure,
the show is no, they can't. The show is predicated upon the theater. The show is predicated upon all of the lights and the glitz and glamour of Hollywood. It's not.
But again, that is
music
their set.
Doesn't stand on its own.
I disagree. You don't think Motley Crue's music stands on its own?
Nope.
Or Dawkins?
Nope. No, I think
do.
Dawkins.
I do.
I think Dawkins' music stands on its own, and that's the problem. That's why Dawkins wasn't big, because
And look,
Dawkins is like Bad Company and Foreigner and a bunch of other second-tier bands that are good.
Foreigner is
there's-
bigger than Dawkins.
No, I understand that, but my point is, Foreigner also was in an environment with extremely superior bands. Dawkins' environment.
They were actually on the radio.
Right. My point is, but Foreigner was in the 70s competing with Aerosmith, the Rolling Stones, the Eagles, Fleetwood Mac, Boston,
right.
Van Halen, Led Zeppelin, Black Sabbath. Again, we're Motley Crue, Def Leppard, and they weren't as big. Because of that, they're a second tier or a third tier band. They're fantastic. Their music, I think Dawkins' music is great, but there's nothing more to it that brought them over the hump. On the other hand, the thing that brought Motley Crue over the hump is the fact that they were more interesting than they were good.
Again, they're interesting and good. They're interesting and good. You have to realize all these bands that we're talking are 80s bands. During the 80s, that's the style. The hair, the costumes, the blah, blah, blah. Make no mistake. Do I want to see Blackie in a buzzsaw codpiece? No. Do I want to hear Blackie if he could sing still? Abso-fucking-lutely.
But then there's the other side of that. You say that, and then the Van Halen fans saw David Lee Roth in overalls and a scally cap instead of his teased up hair and riding an inflatable microphone, and they shit all over him for it. It's a no-win scenario. When your act is predicated upon youth and sex appeal and strippers and cocaine, and you're a fucking grandfather, it doesn't work. It doesn't translate. I'm not saying I won't go to the show, and I won't say I don't enjoy it, but I'm going to say there's no market for Motley Crue being superheroes in a fucking comic book in their 60s. Motley Crue is granddad rock to kids today.
Well, make no mistake. We're all making fun of the comic book. I'm still going to buy it, you know. But
yeah, no. Look, my shelves are full of bands that people will go, God, that band sucks. Who gives a shit what I think?
I'm just saying, when you put Crimson Idol in your CD player in your car, are you just saying, well, Blackie sure looked fun back in the day, or are you saying this is a fucking great album?
Yeah, but I think that's the difference. The difference is, if you can make a record. And let's face it, you can pretty much do anything in the studio now. So we'll see if Dawkins can make a record with George Lynch and have it be good.
Make no mistake. I don't know if he's going to make a record with Lynch. They're working on a new Dawkins album. I hope they include Lynch in there.
Here's what I'm going to tell you.
They were saying that they should do they interviewed Lynch recently, and he was saying they should do some organized reunion tour done the right way. They're talking about it, but I think the Dawkins album that's being made right now is the current lineup of Dawkins, not with Lynch.
All right. Well, see, okay. I'm going to say this about that though. So they put out the Lost demos. Remember the Dawkins demo? Lost demos
I
thing?
remember that.
All right. So that record comes out, and what happens? Don tries to clean up some of the old demos. Doesn't tell anybody about it. We find out about it after the fact.
Yeah.
But there is a discernible drop-off, even in the studio where you can allegedly do anything. There's a discernible drop-off in vocal quality. It's not good. The last couple of Scorpions records, Klaus's voice is not what it was. Rob Halford, as much as I love Rob Halford and Judas Priest, go and watch some of those videos of the last couple of tours. He's howling. Even on the Firepower record, there's a little bit of howling, where before it was that falsetto deep scream and it had some depth to it and it was cutting and biting. Now it's howling. There's a howling sound there, because when you're 70, and Rob is, when you're 70, it's difficult to sing the Sentinel.
Oh, sure.
And it's even more ridiculous to see you going out there to try to be the Sentinel.
I don't know. Rob can still pull that off, actually.
I love Rob. He's
there.
He
is. Is that Rob Halford right there? Is that him?
So that's the.
I believe it is.
Issue.
They had sunglasses. That's him.
It's very difficult, and I think that's why I'm actually kind of glad, even though several members of the band will refute the statement I'm about to make. I think Slayer quit at the right time.
They don't.
Sing it.
No, they don't.
Too early, and I agree. I think they quit too early.
I think they quit at the right time. I think they were old enough and still had the credibility before they became self-parody. I think that Motley Crue has become self-parody. I think that bands like Def Leppard have successfully reinvented themselves. Bands like Bon Jovi have successfully reinvented themselves. Look, Cinderella saw it early on and dropped all the scarves and all the glam and all the makeup and put on some denim and played some blues. I think that a band who is predicated upon image, like a Wasp, like a Motley Crue, that doesn't have the eternal image of youth, like Kiss, because the faces are all that matters. It doesn't matter who's there. That's, you see that? Gene Simmons, as long as he has that makeup on and has a good wig, will always look like that.
We look devastatingly handsome for 29.
And that's the issue. The issue is you can't be Gwar in your 60s. It doesn't work. And I think
actually
that's why
you can, because Gwar like Kiss is a costume.
Sometimes
that's a bad example. That's
if it works. If unfortunately Brocky's gone, so we'll never know. But it will be interesting to see how bad. Look, the Red Hot Chili Peppers are not the Red Hot Chili Peppers anymore.
Yeah, because no one wants to see Flea hopping around naked with his balls dragging on stage.
You've just made my point. You've just made my point about Motley Crue. Motley Crue was a decent band with a handful of fucking phenomenal songs, and the rest of them were pretty good, but they were an amazing experience. And the experience of Motley Crue far supersedes the talent of Motley Crue. Same thing with Wasp. Same thing with a bunch of those theatrical bands. If you don't, and this is where Alice Cooper comes back into it, if you don't have the songs, it doesn't matter. Alice has better songs than he does a show. You go to the Alice Cooper show and you go, my God, this is a fantastic show. And you go, and shit, this is a good song. Like, the songs sneak up on you at an Alice Cooper show. He's one of the only guys, and if not the only guy, that has gotten better as his character has gotten older. For whatever reason, that character works. Ozzy's no longer the Prince of Darkness. Ozzy's an old guy.
Ozzy still works in the studio.
He still works. In the studio, sure, because they can fix him up. Ozzy works in the studio, but you get him out on stage, he doesn't move. The frog jumps don't happen anymore. He's no longer dressed in the gold lame suit with the fucking Sharon Osbourne haircut.
Oh, but that was 1986.
He's not dressed as,
I mean, I don't expect him to look like 1986. But again, I don't mind an
Motley
image
Crue's
of
trying to do that. But Motley Crue is trying to do that with this fucking comic book.
Vince, hold on. The comic book's a merch thing. Vince comes out in a t-shirt and a headband and jeans. He's not wearing the leather with the armor and the spikes, and he's not doing that anymore.
That's what's that?
Yeah, and what's that? That's a t-shirt with jeans and
those
maybe
aren't spiked gloves. Those aren't spiked gloves and.
Yeah, the gloves he could do, but he's not looking like he did in the Looks That Kill video. Come on.
No,
I will still listen.
He's looking like he's trying to look like he did in the girls era.
If Don Dokken could still hold a tune, I would still happily see Dokken. I'll still see them if Lynch is playing, because George is amazing. But with that said, if Vince can hold a tune, I'll go see Crue at any age. I'll go see Dokken at any age if the singer can hold a tune and remembers the words and doesn't keep passing the mic to the audience.
But he can't.
Same with Wasp. Okay, but same with Wasp.
But Wasp, but you know what? Blackie hasn't been able to do that for a long time either.
I don't know. I haven't seen Blackie in a while.
A lot of people
I know Vince can't. I know Vince can't. I would probably still go to see McMars, and Tommy is still probably amazing. I would still see Dokken. Like I said, I'd see it if Lynch was there just to see George. Blackie, I don't know if he could do it. Cooper, he's immortal. God bless him. Yep. But yeah, listen, it's about the music for me. They're not going to try to be exactly as active as they were in 1986. I get that. But I will still absolutely go sing. If you can still sing that song, I will absolutely support you by buying your ticket to the live show. 1000%. It is about the music for me because you know what? I like that music.
Yes, but it's about the music for you. But the band itself is about more than the music. That's the point. If you want the music, buy the album. But if you're going to see the band, the Motley Crue thing is an experience. It's not about just going and getting up there and seeing them play fucking great songs.
But all
It's
the
about-
live shows are an experience. You know that.
Not necessarily. The Rolling Stones get up there and you don't have an expectation of, and again, I'll use the David Lee Roth example. David Lee Roth with the Dave-sicle. You didn't see the Dave-sicle on the last couple of Van Halen tours. That's just a guitar. He didn't do it because it's stupid. It's stupid for a 60-year-old guy to get up there with the fucking Dave-sicle. And you didn't see the big oversized cowboy hat. You know why? Because it's stupid. And you didn't see the samurai sword with the big fucking
The 9-ring sword
because it's
dance.
stupid.
You saw the big microphone that he was
Because he
bouncing
can't
around on.
do it anymore. And I get that. I get certain things. I'm not expecting David Lee Roth to jump off of fucking rafters at 20 feet high and do splits. I
part
get
of
it.
the show. That's part of the show, and that's part of the criticism. And Motley Crue is about more than just songs. It's about the experience. It's about the party. Motley Crue is, and several people have already said it in the chat, the ultimate LA hair metal bar band. They were about an
Agreed.
experience. Yes, but it was so is anybody going to bars on the LA Strip right now in their 60s, fucking rocking out and drinking and partying every night? Woo!
Yeah, I see them. Yes, they are. They totally are.
That's
And good for them. Good for them. But
my point is, it's rock and roll is a young man's game. And unless you have an eternal, timeless product like a Led Zeppelin, like a Rolling Stones, and to a lesser degree Aerosmith, although Steven's starting to look kind of goofy with the scarves at his age. He's starting to look like a grandmother as opposed to Steven Tyler. But like bands like The Who, bands like Led Zeppelin, even bands like Black Sabbath and the Rolling Stones and the Eagles. And and those bands.
But that's not my genre. That's not.
I understand
my genre.
that, but
my genre is the hair metal era, and I will go see them as long as they can still perform. Because, like I said, we're all getting old. I don't expect certain things, but I do expect I will go see the stadium tour if you are Vince Neil and you can carry a tune. I know Def Leppard can. I know Poison can. I'll still see them. I don't expect to see Brett swinging off the same fucking flagpole that he used to. I expect him to stand there, maybe do a little, horsey hop or whatever he does. But other than that, I'm still going for the nostalgia because everyone around me has gotten old. I haven't, but of course, everyone else has aged. And, this is your nostalgia. This is your genre. You like what music you like. I don't want to go see The Who. I didn't grow up with The Who. I grew up with Bon Jovi.
And Bon Jovi was smart enough to redefine themselves, to age gracefully, to make it less about Superman capes and more about being up there and being more like Springsteen, less like Roth.
Different.
And that's the sad part is nobody look. What's
part of Roth is the jokes. Part of Roth is the personality, the witty banter. That's part of Roth. I know he can't do the kicks. I know he can't do the kung fu, but the witty banter and the Jim Dandy personality, he can still do. Can he sing? No, he can't do that. But
to me, it's like a football player who plays 2 seasons too long. You remember how great they were, and you're disappointed by what you're seeing. That's the way I see it. There are certain bands that I don't want to see. I don't want to see a 60-something-year-old Red Hot Chili Peppers. I don't want to see.
I don't want to see the Chili Peppers at all. They're not my jam.
And that's my point, though. But it's even weird to see. It's even weird to see. Like, I'll even go back way before our time. Guys like Smokey Robinson or Tina Turner.
That I would actually say. I like Motown.
No, I do too. But when you go out and you see Smokey and how he looks and how he sounds, you go, oh my God, he was great. And then you go, well, he's fucking 80. What did you expect?
I saw Little Richard like that. And I talked to him. And the guy had.
Does he still live at the Riot?
I think he's dead now. He is dead now,
is he
unfortunately. Dead? But yeah, right? John B.
John B.L.
Did Little Richard die?
I believe so. I'm pretty sure he did.
It's possible.
I think
You're right.
I remember giving a tribute to him on Facebook.
Yeah, it's possible.
Yeah.
I just remember he lived on like the 5th floor or the 6th floor of the Continental Hyatt
Yeah,
House.
he died
The
in
whole fucking-
2020, and another disaster in 2020.
he was amazing, and he had like half the Continental Hyatt House was his home. That's where he lived. On one floor.
No, I saw Little Richard, and I'll never forget the conversation I had with him, because we were talking and I was making him laugh. And, you know, I'm looking at his makeup. I'm like, wow, your makeup's really running. And he's like, I feel like a chocolate cupcake melted in the sun right now. And oh, look at all this shit they got on me. My beautiful skin covered up with all this makeup melting off me. I mean, just the funniest, craziest, talented beyond words guy on the planet. And he was ripping up the fucking piano and singing his heart out at an old age. I don't even know how old the guy was. But oh my God, sharp as can be, incredible, and funny as fuck. I died when he said, I'm a chocolate cupcake melting in the sun. I hit the floor.
Right. You know why? Because he had personality. Because he had personality. He had something more than the ability to be a fucking amazing musician. And that's the whole point I'm trying to make with bands
that's
like
David
Motley
Lee
Crue and
Roth too. If Roth could sing or do what I shouldn't even use sing, because Dave never sang. If he could still carry the tune the way he did in the 80s, that would be acceptable, even if he wasn't doing the physical kicks and things like that.
And so we come back to Motley Crue. They can't do it anymore.
They can play, he can't sing.
They can't do it anymore, because if that you just said 15 minutes ago, I'll go and see them if he can still sing the songs. He can't.
I get it. And that's my point with someone like Blackie as an example. I don't know if Blackie can hit those tunes, but I'm going to see Blackie for the music, WASP for the music and the songs and the whole 9 yards, rather than him lighting his legs on fire.
But that's the problem.
Buzzsaw codpiece
is the problem is the premise of this tour is we're going back to the beginning, because I saw WASP by the 3rd tour.
Oh boy. Both of us at the same time. Oh boy.
Oh man. Holy shit.
I think I woke up with a girl like that once.
It looks like the Stay Puft Marshmallow guy.
Oh, the
Holy
poor guy.
Shit, man. Come
He's got
on.
cellulite on his cheeks. How does that happen?
This is my point. I saw Blackie on the 3rd tour.
Look at the chat. The chat's exploding. What the fuck? Oh my God.
Thank you, Johnny Beane, for making my point. Blackie Lawless. Blackie Lawless. Holy shit.
Would you like another donut, John? Wow.
God.
I thought that woman's name was Agnes and she lived in my building.
I would venture to say I am probably the biggest WASP fan on this show.
I don't know about it. I love WASP too.
Okay, great. So our point, oh boy. Jesus.
Yeah, that's harsh. That's really hard. Look at the chat. Jesus Christ. He looks worse than Vinnie Vincent can't drive 55, and that takes a lot.
So at one point, Blackie looked like Dana Delaney, who is gorgeous. So I saw WASP on the 3rd tour when they changed their image, when they went from being, the Last Command and the codpiece and all that stuff to a little bit more denim and leather. It was inside the Electric Circus. Johnny Rod was on bass from King Cobra. And I thought to myself, well, this is a good band. And then they put out, Headless Children, great record.
Really
again, good. Frankie Benali on drums and doing and again leather and denim. He had he had changed the image of the band, and then they put out a couple of other records and the Crimson Idol and Still Not Black Enough. And then they came back with Kill Fuck Die, which is a phenomenal record. When Chris Holmes came back to the band and Eldorado. And my point is,
look, I think they've had consistently good musical product.
Yes. But then the thing is, Blackie found Jesus and decided.
Where was he hiding?
Behind the couch.
I think it was in a McDonald's.
He was in that place where all the missing socks are from your dryer.
My guitar picks.
Maybe. Blackie found Jesus and decided, I'm not going to sing songs like Ball Crusher. I'm not going to sing Fuck Like a Beast. I'm not going to do Sleeping in the Fire and Demon Shit and all that stuff that advocates the objectification of women. And, you know, Blackie found Jesus and decided he was going to go.
Jesus is no fun. Do you notice that?
I get it. Except for when Stryper sings about him, because then Jesus makes me want to sing Jesus. All right.
And the Lord said unto ye, sinner, sinner, sinner. The Lord wants you to give all your money to Johnny Beane.
You know, I feel good. I know there's a God somewhere. There's a God somewhere.
Lord, gonna rain down the blessing on me. 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 There's a lesson to be learned. There's a lesson to be learned. That was Jesus talking through me right now.
You might remember him from the What's Going Down episode of That's My Mama.
Wow, he looks like a white Nell Carter. Look at him.
Jesus. Yeah, it's no. Hey, put down that donut.
I think I think Jesus was hiding in the folds of his chin.
Oh boy,
Jesus.
So the point being, getting back to it because we digress.
I guarantee some cop walked right into his mouth, thinking that was
he's got a squad car parked in there,
thinking that was headquarters. Oh wow!
Can you imagine if Blackie was a cop? I'd be like, "Fuck it, chase me, come get some."
He's like that fat Irish cop that's in every old movie. Hold on now. All right, he's got Murphy. A whistle and a nightstick, but no gun. Yeah. Hold on now, lad.
If Sergeant Schultz was an NYPD cop, he'd be Blackie Lawless.
Jesus.
So the point being, again, Blackie's anniversary tour is back to the beginning. No, don't go back to the beginning, please.
By the way, the opening act of that tour is McRib is back.
Please, just don't. You're not. I don't want to see that guy getting up there. Give me a ticket on a jet airplane. I'm not going to take it. Shut up.
I want to see that. If he can hold the tune. If he can hold the tune, I would see that.
The flame has burned out.
Well, I'm telling you, as being that it's our nostalgia of music.
Diabetic in Texas.
I eat like a beast. I chow down. I'm not chow down.
I was going to say, I fart like a beast.
Oh man!
It was the New Jersey Devils. Fred Level Midnight.
Fuck die.
Yeah, you know it'll be interesting though because one of the songs on Kill Fuck Die is "You." It's just the letter U, and the hook is "You fucking suck." Can you imagine if the crowd is singing it to him? Yes, sing along. Wait, no, don't sing along. No, don't do that.
Oh no! Can't Drive 55 says Blackie's back to the buffet line tour.
Here's the thing.
Oh,
if
terrible!
Blackie opens for Motley Crue, he's literally going to eat them.
He's gonna open his mouth for Motley Crue.
Blackie looks like he ate Vince Neil.
Wow! They're gonna have like a sumo wrestling match in the arena. Blackie and Vince.
And by the way, a guy who still has a haircut from 1987 shouldn't be throwing stones at these bands. I love them all. I think watching them embarrass themselves really makes me feel embarrassed to be me. I think that's really what I'm trying to say is I see those guys up on stage looking like that, and then I think to myself, God, somebody's watching this show right here tonight, and they're going, look at that fucking middle-aged guy with his long hair and refuses to admit it's over. I think that we see it.
It's not
No,
over.
no, no. But
Listen.
I think
Go ahead.
I think we see a little bit of ourselves in it. I think we see, aging is inevitable. And I think we start to see a little bit of our own youth pass away. What will they say about me when the end comes? I know.
I ain't got no sandwich to feed Blackie.
I ate Vince Neil's body.
I almost want to throw a head of cabbage into his mouth like a manatee. You ever see them? Feed the manatees at SeaWorld? They just kind of throw heads of cabbage in. I just kind of say, "Fuck like a beast,"
All of
No,
a
look,
sudden,
I-
all of
look,
a sudden, fucking Blackie's mouth became Zoidberg.
Look, I mean, look, that is our youth. That is, look, some of our idols aged really well. You look at Adrian Vandenberg, the guy looks the fucking same as he did in 1980.
I will say this. I know Bruce Dickinson is doing a spoken word tour. He literally looks like a distinguished English professor now, which is exactly what we thought he would look like when you saw the Can I Play with Madness video. You're like, that guy's probably going to age to be Graham Chapman teaching people, historical literature in school. Guys like Dickinson, and look, Halford with the Santa Claus beard, fuck him. He's 60, 70 years old. He's got prostate cancer. Let him do whatever the fuck he wants.
I hate the beard. I admit I do.
I don't like it either, but who
I think
gives a
even
shit?
if he cut that beard, he would look terrific. I really do. Look, some guys aged amazing. Some
some
guys
of them.
really did.
Paul Rogers has a good hair guy, so he's aged amazing.
Mick Mars already looked dead in the 80s, so he looks the same.
Looks the same, yeah.
Tommy and Nikki look good.
I don't know about Tommy. Looks terrible. Tommy is very emaciated and tired looking.
Tommy's cock is the size of my car. He looks fine. He has nothing to worry about.
Look, the idea that you find Tommy's cock to be the most appealing part of him.
I'm envious.
Oh,
I'm
boy.
envious. Oh, John, I'm watching too, and I'm diddling my D battery. Oh. No, look, I'm envious.
You know who hasn't aged other than balding? Phil Collin from fucking Def Leppard. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, that man is a specimen.
And he
other than losing
barreled
his hair.
through Johnny like a linebacker.
Yeah. My arm was sore for like 2 days after that.
Jay Hannon says Tommy looks like a meth addict. Jay, Tommy is a meth addict.
Yep.
That's method acting. Get it?
No, there are very few of those 80s bands that have been able to look. I think the guys in Tesla have done a great job. But again, the same thing I said about Dokken and the same thing I said about Badlands, although Badlands, I would have loved to have seen that band continue on. Obviously, that was not to be. But they didn't have that extra thing that took them over the hump. And it was that extra thing that made it special. That's now the same exact thing that keeps me from wanting to see them. WASP wrote cool songs, but WASP wrote cool songs and had a great fucking show. And that was the thing. WASP was a band I loved seeing live. Motley Crue, better to see live than to listen to on record because you got the experience, you got the energy. Some bands are better live than they are on record. A great band, a band from the 90s called Fuel. You remember Fuel?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Fuel had a couple of good radio hits, but when you saw them live, way heavier live. Collective Soul rocks way more live than they did on record.
And by the way, Dane Zimmerman brings up CeCe DeVille. I think CeCe looks terrific, man. I do.
All things.
And by the way, for those that asked earlier, Dane Zimmerman is sick today, so he's in the chat, but we wish him a speedy recovery. And thank you, Lindy Lynch. Lindy, you can make my birthday better. Send a couple of selfies in my inbox.
Jesus,
thank you. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Bozique believes that Badlands could be redone with a new singer. No, it really can't. Don't get me wrong. Dino can sing it. Dino Jalusic is fucking amazing.
Oh my God, he's incredible.
He does an incredible Ray Gillen. but the point is, it's Ray Gillen. I would, if they did try to make new music, like I heard the last Red Dragon Cartel record might as well have been a Badlands record. It's good. It's very good.
If
The
Dino
first-
was singing for Jakey Lee, they absolutely, with new music, could absolutely do a new Badlands. I think it would be terrific.
Yeah, I have the
And yeah, Jay, they do.
I have the desperate angle. I have the pleasure of living in the same town as Greg Chason, the bass player for Badlands. He runs a guitar shop here in town. He's got a new project out. It's very, very good. And Greg is good. And Eric Singer has a better paying job. So what are they going to do? They're going to get Jeff Martin back in on drums. I don't know. I don't know that Badlands works. I think you can't create chemistry. Would Dino be able to write songs that were, he'd be able to sing songs as well as Ray, but would he be able to write songs and create that magic? I think some of the things that we love about Dino singing Ray is that he captures the tone of it, but we're remembering Ray. And it's the same thing that
Ripper Owens.
Ripper Owens did. Ripper Owens, but that's a great example. The Ripper Owens records with Judas Priest are fairly forgettable. They're good for what they are, but when you put them in under the Judas Priest banner, they don't hold up.
Both of us love Dino, though, and I really think that once he's done with this Whitesnake tour,
I think he's going to be the singer for Whitesnake. I mean, one of the interesting things that David Coverdale said, and this is something that a friend of mine named Ray Koob, who works in radio in Philadelphia, also pointed out. We may start seeing bands like Kiss, and Gene and Paul might be onto this, like Led Zeppelin, viewed as the same as we view classical composers. And what I'm saying is there are symphonies all around the world that create Bach and Chopin and Beethoven and Wagner's pieces, The Ride of the Valkyries, as interpreted by the Boston Symphony Orchestra or as interpreted by the Helsinki Symphony Orchestra. We may start seeing bands embrace, because we're seeing it with Primus right now. Primus are doing an entire tour called A Farewell to Kings. They're doing a tribute to Kings tour where it's all Rush music. They're doing the entire Rush Farewell to Kings album. This is Primus doing another band's entire catalog or doing another band's work, a piece of work from another band. We may start seeing bands do this. Gene and Paul have been joking about how Kiss is a brand and it goes on beyond the band members.
Kiss is a legacy. Kiss is a legacy. Kiss is a band. Kiss is a way of life and thinking. We could absolutely let Primus do it, but it would take a nominal fee.
My point being, we may see Dino continue Whitesnake's canon after Coverdale leaves. He may end up.
See that.
Thank you, Lemmy.
Lemmy agrees.
We might see some of those bands without their original members being reinterpreted by 4 other musicians, and we'll start to see, not unlike symphony orchestras. I think that's kind of what Jason Bonham is doing with Led Zeppelin now.
I can see that. I could absolutely say, look, Kiss already alluded to it.
That's my point.
They said other people will be in that makeup when we're gone.
And I think Dino, there was a statement that Coverdale said, maybe Whitesnake goes on after I retire. Well, what the fuck? I mean, David Coverdale is Whitesnake. Is he? Or can Dino step in and take over those lead vocal duties after Coverdale calls it a day and continue the brand? And Whitesnake becomes, like Kiss, becomes a corporation and he gets a percentage of the business because he owns the brand, kind of like a franchisee.
I can see that. I can absolutely see that.
So it's an interesting concept. We've been joking about, Kiss going out without any original members and how disrespectful it is. But I think our perception of those bands may change moving forward, that music may be looked upon similar to the classical works. And I could be wrong, but we see different productions of there are several different Trans-Siberian orchestras now playing the same music. There are several different troops of Blue Man Group. There is Cirque du Soleil that does the same show around the country. It's the same show. It's the same music. It's the same costumes. It's the same stunts. Does it have to be the original musicians?
But think about also, Whitesnake has never been a steady group. It's always been guns for hire. David Coverdale is the constant, but other than that, he basically forms a super group with whoever he thinks is hot and available.
I agree,
Mhm.
and I know
Well,
a
then
lot of people.
that's what makes him Whitesnake.
Yes,
Him
but
himself.
I can see now that Dino is joining the band as co-vocalist, I could see Paul's point. I absolutely could see Whitesnake go on without Coverdale and just with Dino. If Dino does a great job of like reigniting some flame, I could see that.
It's not a matter
Whitesnake
of
is a corporation, basically.
Yeah, it's not a matter of and by the way, I'm a purist. I don't like this idea at all, and I don't endorse the idea.
I'm the same.
But as I hear the idea, I sit back and go, it kind of makes sense. They could kind of do it. And Music Therapy Labs, my first live rock concert, I was 9, was Beatlemania, and Aldo Nova played George Harrison. And
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, Aldo Nova was George Harrison on the first Beatlemania tour.
That's funny.
And you see these bands going out and doing these other shows. I think our perception, and I know people are like, I don't think that's going to happen. It's happening now. We've seen bands go out with no original members. I mean, bands like the Temptations and bands like, those 50s doo-wop bands that go out and they tour and they do their thing. There are no original members left.
Dude,
there's
Dio
one
with the hologram.
Right. There's one, Fret Level Midnight. You don't want to watch a bunch of cover bands. More power to you. There are people who do, and that's the fucked up part about it. I'm a purist. You're a purist. I'm going to die someday. There are people today who listen to Beethoven interpreted by the Boston Pops or the Boston Symphony Orchestra or the New York Philharmonic, whatever it is. They're cover bands. And yet that music endures. We all know Beethoven's Fifth. We all know the Ninth. We all know Moonlight Sonata. We've all heard Ride of the Valkyries. We all know Flight of the Bumblebee. We all know those things. The people that wrote those songs have been dead for hundreds of fucking years.
But with that, it's easier because there's no image of those guys performing.
Okay, but here's the thing.
Classical guys.
Eddie Van Halen, rest in peace, passed away. Nerd Halen still gets a crowd.
I think that if
you're enjoying those songs, you are.
If using John,
no chance to see Eddie.
If using John's logic is, I'll go to hear the music. If the music is the most important thing, then the recreation of the music, and we're already seeing this now with the acceptance of pre-taped background vocals, sampled instruments, bands going up there and doing essentially playing to tracks. We're already on our way to the who cares who's involved in it. We might as well see a cartoon on stage playing the music of the band that we want to see. We're already making our way toward that. I think that we could, and again, it might not be our generation. It may not even be your kids' generation, but I think we're inevitably moving toward that. We're starting to see, how many times have we seen remakes of certain movies that people are like, oh, I love Batman. We know the Batman story. Why do we continue to embrace new tellings of the Batman story? Why do we continue to embrace new tellings of Robin Hood or King Kong? We've already seen the story. Flash Gordon. We've already seen the story. We've already seen what we consider the definitive version of the story. And yet last year, CBS or ABC recreated several episodes of All in the Family and got massive ratings doing it. Because if the story and the product and the subject matter endures, who cares who's playing it? Well, I don't agree with that, but it seems to be the inevitable destination.
But here's the trick. If the original is not around, that's the trick. You can't bring Eddie back from the dead, so you'll see a Van Halen cover band or two. If Eddie's available, you would rather see the band that originally did it, the singer that originally did it, the guitarist that originally did it. You'd rather see the originals.
Maybe.
I think let's put it this way. Would you rather see, who do you think would fill up a stadium more? Dokken as they are, or a Dokken cover band right now that could play things perfectly?
I don't know. I think I think
original Dokken will still, even though Don is
disagree.
done vocally.
I disagree. I bet you certain cover bands that recreate the Kiss show are making nice money and filling. Would you rather play or pay $30 to go to a bar to see a Van Halen cover band that nails the songs as well as Van Halen, or pay $150 to go see Van Halen today with a David Lee Roth that doesn't quite deliver like he used to, and Wolfgang Van Halen on bass guitar for 4 times the cost?
I'd rather see the original. Speaking for myself, I'd rather see the original. Throw it to the chat. Throw it to the chat.
I don't know that there's a right answer to that. I will tell you, there are people who go see tribute bands in Vegas every weekend that can afford to go see the original band and choose not to.
I'm looking in the chat right now. Would you rather see
Leonard Skinner's a great example. The only guy left in Leonard Skinner that was in Leonard Skinner when they were worth a shit is Gary Rosington. That's it. And he's, may he live forever. It's not going to happen. He's near the end. But Leonard Skinner's a great example.
But to the chat, would you rather see the original band with some of its members gone and, you know, 1 or 2 broken down, or would you rather see a young, fresh cover band at a bar? Which would you rather see?
Depends on the band. Depends on, who it is. Like if it's some legend, you'd rather see the real thing because you're seeing the actual.
Well, take Motley Crue. Take Motley Crue. Would you rather see Vince, who can't sing, but the music's still there, or would you rather see a great young Motley Crue cover band? I'd rather see original Vince.
Hip Metal Works brings up the arbiter. What's the better experience for you? What's more important? Are you at the bar to see the band, or are you at the bar to have a good time? Because if you want to enjoy the band, put the record on and have a party at your house. If you're just there to do that. But if you want to go see the show and pay $400 to say that you saw David Lee Roth at 60% of what he was in his heyday, I don't know. I don't know what the answer is to that. I can't tell you one way or the other.
For me, I'd rather see an aged Lee Roth than a teenager covering him. You know,
maybe.
I'm just saying
that's everybody's choice. That's everybody's.
No, because it's nostalgia for me. I'd rather see the guys I really enjoyed back in the day as best they can. You know.
Yeah, that's the thing. I want to see. I want to see the band play well.
Oh, look, there are some bands that play.
Motley Crue doesn't.
There's some bands that play great and some bands don't. Look, I watched this video the other day, literally just the other day, Lynch sitting in with Dokken. George was on fire and Dokken can't sing. I was still enjoying watching George, and I looked to the left and I said, wow, Don, man. But did I enjoy watching it overall? Yeah, not as much as I did in 1989, but yeah, absolutely.
I think you manage your expectations.
Bozique is trying to call in, Johnny.
You guys want to call?
Yeah, take it. He's on topic.
Yeah, I got to get ready to go though. It's 9 o'clock. It's 9 o'clock my time.
Do you want to sit for the phone call, Paulie?
We can take the call and deal with that, and then I got to bail out.
All right, and then I'll do the show and tell, and we'll go from there.
Bozique.
I didn't even get a hint on tonight's show and tell guitar. Tonight's show and tell guitar is where Count Chocula lives. Okay, go ahead. Bozique, call into Johnny. We'll take the call.
Or not.
Yeah.
Bozique.
Hey, Johnny. How you doing? How's everybody?
What's up?
This
up,
is
brother?
an interesting topic, so I just really want to chime in on it real quick and get the guy's opinion. I think, like, I had heard what Paul was talking about before. I had heard about it before, where Kiss was considering, 4 new guys under the makeup, and Dino in Whitesnake is interesting too. But the one thing that I think could potentially be the future, because it already kind of happened. Dio went on tour after he died holographically.
Mm-hmm.
And the way I think about it, I think it's quite possible that it might be what you see down the road as technology improves. Just holographic recreations of these classic bands where it looks like the original guy on there, you know, animated, so it's not exactly like a concert from the past. It's brand new stuff with a backing track, but it looks like the original guy. I think with technology going that way, I just think that's probably a possibility that's what we might see in the future. So I just want the guy's opinion on that. I'll hang up and listen. Take it easy.
Rock on, man.
Bye, Bozique.
Thanks, Bozique. They've been doing this for decades in Memphis. It wasn't holograms, but they have been during Dead Elvis Week, which is literally what they call it. It's the week of the anniversary of the passing of Elvis Presley. On the side of a huge building off of Beale Street, they would project an Elvis visual, a film like with a projector, and a band would play Elvis music, and they would have Elvis's vocal track play. They've been doing this for decades in Memphis. The technology has certainly got to the point where they're doing these, 3D holograms, and you see it with The Last in Line, which is, members of Dio's band actually playing live with Dio's vocal track from a live show from, 1981, 82, whatever it is, piped in over the top. I think that's even less appealing to me than a cover band.
I'm kind of split because I know.
I know it's a thing, and people will pay to see it, sure.
And I know the technology is getting better, and you are technically seeing Ronnie do a performance. Although it's kind of, I don't know if I would pay money to see it live versus just watch on YouTube an old concert show, which is also seeing Ronnie live pretty much as the same capacity. Maybe if there are still, like, Last in Line has existing, living members in there, Vivian Campbell's in there, or
no, they're playing live. For people that don't know, the band is playing live. The band,
and they're people that have played with Dio before,
right? They're playing live, and then they project an image of Dio on stage, and the vocal track is isolated off of a board mix from a live show or whatever. So essentially, and it's weird because the band has to sync to the singing track versus the other way around, which is a very weird, and I'm sure specific skill that takes a lot of rehearsal to make sure that their timing is right. I respect that.
Mm-hmm. And again, it's like, it's like seeing Whitesnake with Dino singing instead of Coverdale. You're still seeing a live act. You're seeing people that were in the band. So you're still seeing some band members, the original guitarists and stuff.
Agreed.
So that is kind of what I'm going to see. If someone replaced Don in Dokken, or probably a better example is, looking at, Corabi and Motley Crue. Would you see Motley Crue without Vince Neil if John Corabi was there? Probably, because it's still Motley Crue and you have a new vocalist. That happens a lot in bands. So here you have Dio's old band, but instead of a new vocalist, you have a hologram. I would probably still see it just for first of all, out of curiosity, I would just to see how realistic the hologram looked, because as technology improves, I'm sure we'll see better ones.
Yeah. And especially with things like deep fake. My God, they're getting good. They're getting so good at those. Yeah.
Mind blowing. But now you're also seeing the live band that was back in the day, Dio. I guess in that case, I would still see it as long as the tickets were reasonable. But, eventually, would I go see a whole hologram band experience? No, I wouldn't go see that. What about you, Paulie?
Yeah, I'm not on board.
Entire band hologram? I wouldn't go see that.
No, I have DVDs.
You would go to that, Johnny?
Depends on what it is. Sounds fun.
But like, would you pay regular concert price? Sure, if you're at a bar and they have, hey, tonight we have Ozzy and Randy Rhoads. Oh, that's kind of funny. But, I wouldn't go to like a concert hall and pay like $100 to see like a full hologram show compared to just looking on YouTube and watching an old rerun.
I think that is another branch on what I was just saying, and that is the curation of the catalog or the curation of the project moving forward. I don't think that it's viable for me, but it will be viable for somebody. And for me, in that scenario, I have a lot of these bands and a lot of these bands that aren't still together that I like to listen to. I think I'd rather spend my money going to see Dirty Honey. I think I'd rather spend my money, as much as Greta Van Fleet gets a lot of shit. I think I'd rather go see Greta Van Fleet. I think my money would be better. My experiences, because I love music. I already know what I'm getting from Aerosmith. I don't need to see a hologram band of Aerosmith. Aerosmith is gone. Van Halen is gone. Led Zeppelin is gone.
Aerosmith is still out there.
Nah, they're not going to make another record. They're done.
They might tour. I would still see them.
Nah,
I'll see them until they're dead.
There's some
I mean,
illness
like
in
I
that.
said,
There's
you
some
know,
illness in that band. I don't think it's happening again.
I'll see them until they're dead, or they just, stop singing. Like, look, do I think Don Dokken should still sing? No, but with George Lynch, I will go see Dokken.
My point is, I would rather spend my money experiencing new music. I would rather spend for me, rather than go see The Last in Line with a Dio hologram, I'd rather go to see Dirty Honey at the Whiskey. That's what I would rather do. I would rather have that new, because I still consume music. I'm not living 100% in the nostalgia world. And so a band like Rival Sons, a band like Dirty Honey, that to me captures the same groove and experience that I love about Aerosmith and Zeppelin and Van Halen, while consuming something new. I'm getting to digest something new in an environment like I saw Velvet Revolver's first show at the El Rey. They did a showcase at the El Rey. It was only 5 songs, but it was so cool to be there to see those guys on stage for 40 minutes doing 5 songs, and it was like a loose thing, and it was cool to experience that. Now, all those guys were clearly established. They were clearly established artists, and they didn't play anything from their other bands. You know what I mean? So it was like a new experience. I would rather do that. I think that would be my choice.
Look, I would love to see, and for those that don't know, we were talking about before the show, Wolfgang Van Halen, Mammoth Wolfgang Van Halen, and Dirty Honey are doing a Young Guns tour. I think it's called, was it Young Guns, right? Are doing a tour where they're co-headlining January through March across the United States, and that should be great. Dirty Honey has come out of nowhere, like Greta Van Fleet, like, Wolfgang you kind of knew, but I mean, he's coming to his own very quickly. But Dirty Honey and Greta Van Fleet, these are bands that are the new wave of, popularity in rock, that are still playing guitar rock.
Rival Sons as well, even though they're on like their 5th album.
Okay. I mean, look, and like we were saying at the top of the show, Crazy Licks and Heat are carrying the flag as well for, the 80s hair crowd, as well as, so many other bands on Frontier's album label. But, these are bands that are popular. Dirty Honey is out of nowhere, huge hit. And I know personally young bands that are influenced deeply to be like them, that, that are playing that, and they love hair metal. We're talking 13, 14, 15, 16-year-olds that are digging 80s hair metal. They're going back into this stuff and playing that material live as covers, and are inspired to basically be the next Dirty Honey, or seeing that guitar rock does have a comeback to some extent, Yeah,
Leo
for years it wasn't.
Leo Safko brings up, he says, a local radio station here in North New Jersey has been pushing Dirty Honey hard. That station would be WDHA in Dover, and my friend Terry is the music director there. She's also super beautiful and super talented. And yes, they've been on Dirty Honey since day one. There are pockets of radio stations around the country that are embracing that band. It's difficult to do because, like the Wolf Mothers, and remember that stuff has been going on for a good 15 years now. The Wolf Mothers and the White Stripes, and there's a group of bands that are sort of retro garage and retro.
Mhm. I saw them
arena
20
rock.
years ago.
Yeah, I mean that's the point. There's this like retro arena rock or retro blues rock thing that's happening now. Rival Sons has been around for a while. There's another
Sure.
band out of Belfast, Northern Ireland called The Answer, who are also outstandingly good. There is a group, there is a subgenre of that has been bubbling under the surface because we're still, for whatever reason, in the rock world, obsessed with bands like fucking Slipknot and Disturbed and those bands have had their moment, but the problem is new music discovery is a difficult thing to do in the media environment these days because of the way the environment is monetized. And so to go to see these bands, to go to the experience with these bands, you got to go back to the clubs. You got to go back to see live music. And that brings us back to where we were with festival seating and going into the live experience. Get out there and support those bands. Get out there and see them. When a band, even if it's Tuesday night at 9:13 p.m. in Phoenix, Arizona, if you know Dirty Honey's going on stage at 10:20, go to the show, support the band, buy the CD, buy the T-shirt, do all of those things that you can to perpetuate the art form, because at some point, all of these bands are going to be gone. Van Halen is gone. AC/DC is almost gone. I mean, Aerosmith almost gone. The Rolling Stones, this is probably their last tour. Like, those bands have come, they've had their moment, and they're done. Motley Crue may never play again. I mean, they say they're going to do the stadium tour, but the more I see Nikki Sixx talk about how Vince has to get in shape or we're not going to do it, the more I feel they're not going to do it.
Well, he flip-flops back and forth.
Well,
he says, "Oh, Vince is getting ready. You guys should see. I heard him the other day." It's like, where did you hear him? Because I heard him in Indiana, and he sucked dick.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Eventually, all of these bands are going to be gone. Those grunge bands that came back and replaced the hair bands in the early 90s, they're all gone except Pearl Jam. And I mean, Alice in Chains is still. No, you're wrong, John. It's your personal.
No, choice. I just know I don't like them. So
right,
I'm not a grunge guy.
But they're massive bands for what they are, and they were the next. They took the baton from the hair bands, who took it from the glam bands, who took it from the '60s bands. You know what I mean? So the grunge bands, but those guys are gone. They didn't endure, and the new metal bands, most of them are gone, and eventually they're all going to be gone. Something has to take its place. Greta Van Fleet, Dirty Honey, Rival Sons, The Answer. There are bands out there that are
on the
very,
hair
very
band
good.
Scene, Heat, Crazy Licks.
Right, sure. There are very, very good bands out there that deserve your support, that deserve exposure, that carry on that spirit of all the shit that we've been talking about for 3 hours.
Well, I'm just going to say, I want people to support one specific band. They're teenage. They love hair metal. They cover guys like Firehouse and Van Halen, and they're terrific. Watch them. They're called American Slang, and they're out of Tennessee. They play
not to be confused with American Bang, who was a band that came out a few years back.
No, American Slang, and they're out of Tennessee, and they play a lot of big clubs in Tennessee, a lot of small clubs as well. They're always touring, and they're going to get to a point. You'll see them at like the Criterion and, all the bigger clubs in Tennessee. They'll open for big acts. They're terrific. They're teenage. They're inspired by seeing the hair bands. They play that. And when they get to the point of feeling comfortable to write their own originals, mark my words, they're inspired also by guys like Dirty Honey, and they love that shit. They are the next generation of hair metal, of guitar rock, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, I just want there to be good bands. I just want to hear good rock. I don't care who it is. And I like punk. I like alternative. I like some grunge. I like some new metal. I like some electronica. Good music is good music. If we could get a band like a Guns N' Roses to come out again to be that good, or a band like a Led Zeppelin, or a band like AC/DC. Look, Airborne is AC/DC's bastard son. That's a fantastic band. 5 albums, nobody cares. It sucks. That
I've never even heard of them.
Of course you haven't. Airborne Airborne is fantastic.
It's
But
got
nobody cares.
sync and
But
Really
nobody cares.
quickly. I know, Paul, you got to get out of here, but really quickly. All right. Who is this?
Hey guys,
Who's this?
it's,
False flag.
It's Johnny just
Johnny.
recorded this. Yeah.
False Johnny.
Would Johnny go and see a hologram show by the police? Would Paul go
Yeah.
see the angel?
I would.
The angels in hologram form, and would John go see Poison in hologram form?
Poison's playing
Even though
live
they're
and they're
still
still in
alive.
shape. Poison's still in shape. Brett still has his voice, and
Yeah. Poison's
CC
not going
plays
anywhere
like
for a long
CC.
time.
They're still in shape. but-
And also, happy birthday, John, and the real doll's in the mail.
Thank God, because
It
I'm
costs a lot of
lonely.
money
I am
because it's coming-
so lonely as fuck, man.
That's
All
that's
right,
a
guys.
very expensive gift
All right.
because it's coming from
Take
Australia.
That is. Thank you.
Thank
False
you, man.
Flag. Thank you.
You know, False Flag. I love the fact that he loves to point out that I am a fan of the Angels. For those that don't know who the Angels are, that's Angel City in America, because there was another band called the Angels back in the '60s, a girl band.
And then there was Angel as well.
Yes, and then there was Angel, which was Greg Giuffria.
Greg
before.
Giuffria.
Yeah. The Angels were a fantastic band. They're gone. And, you know, that's a sign of your own mortality. You just kind of go, shit, I'll never get a chance to see them again. I would rather spend my money seeing Dirty Honey than seeing an Angels hologram band. As much as I love the Angels, I'd rather go see Dirty Honey. I think I'd rather go see something new that I haven't experienced than try to recapture something that I already know. Because like the second Star Wars trilogy, the anticipation never meets the expectation.
Yeah.
Ever. It just doesn't.
Johnny, what about you with the police?
It was horrible. Yeah, I would go. I mean, that sounds like fun. But I think the whole hologram thing, I think Paul, you were saying this, that's not for our generation. That's for maybe like 100 years from now. That'll be happening. And
Probably.
if the technology will be there, where it's like we're watching YouTube videos of like an old concert, I guarantee you that in 100 years, the technology will be where you can go to a show and the whole thing will be recreated in real life.
I think in
And
100 years,
be
I think in
amazing.
20 years, you'll be able to see that level of realism in your living room projected.
Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah.
During our lifetimes, I think we'll be able to see that. And you
Well,
know
I
what?
mean,
I have a
virtual reality
feeling-
is already putting that together.
I have a feeling we'll have holograms of the three of us.
Yeah. Actually, I predict in just like 5 months, this is what you'll be looking at. 3 hours
and
of that.
and Wilfred Brimley as well.
The good news about that is that will be on my YouTube channel, because I'm, at some point, 5 months from now, 6 months from now, 100 years from now, I have to stab Johnny in the back. That's just the way it goes.
Oh, yeah.
Start my own channel.
It gets quicker and quicker too. Holograms will be coming after me. Ugh.
Yeah,
That'd be,
when
that'd be fun.
Johnny's fucking avatar is going to be doing a show on Tuesday nights.
Yeah,
That's fun.
you'll be looking at this.
Oh, it's real Johnny Beane.
Hey, it's Johnny Beane, and
Hey, everybody, this is Johnny Beane.
smash
I
that
have
thumbs and change. If you make a super chat, you can change the color of my T-shirt.
And my Amazon wish list is below. I'll put it in the chat. Nightbot, take care of that. There it is. For a $20 donation, I'll appear in your living room as a hologram.
Oh boy.
Say as much as I do on the show anyway.
Yuck.
Yeah.
I'm being called out. Plus, it's 9:30. I gotta go to bed.
All
Good night, Paul.
The great Neanderthal, everybody. Thank you, Paulie.
Hello.
And with Paulie leaving, that means it is time for Show and Tell Guitar. But first, we got to talk about some sponsors who brought us this lovely Show and Tell guitar out of my own collection.
What's that smell?
Well, that must be delicious Bang energy drink, Johnny. I'm glad you brought that up. Delicious Bang energy
There's
drink.
some
It
weird
does
smell
not
happening.
taste like turds, but hey, you never know. Thank you, Bang Energy Drink. That's wonderful. Let's see. We did Swiss picks. We did kernels. That means it's time for. Ready? Vinum Custom Pickups. Check those out. Vinum Custom Pickups, the greatest boutique pickups in the world. So exclusive. They don't always make them, but when they do, you want Vinum Custom Pickups. This is the Mancuda Custom. Look at that beautiful thing. All hand wound by Craig Vinum up in Canada. God bless you, Craig. We hope you're safe in the side project you do as well. But in the meantime, Vinum Custom Pickups, maker of terrific boutique quality pickups. You tell Craig Vinum what you want. He will put tone into your guitar. Vinum Custom Pickups. Go to Vinum Custom Pickups website and check it out. He's got all sorts of pickups, including stuff for very, very vintage Les Pauls. And of course, you could customize color bobbins, tones. You want something similar to a Duncan JB, but you want it a little less muddy. You will just love it. Vinum Custom Pickups. And Johnny, when you want the very best kill switch in the industry, who do you go to? You're a pro player. Who do you go to?
Well, John, when I want a kill switch, I go to Tessie switch.
That's what I thought. Those are the greatest kill switches made out there. Tessie switch can make you the switches you could beat the hell out of. Oh, they have all sorts of things. You want large ones, small ones, ones that light up, you name it. Tessie switch has it. Tessie switch, go to their website and tell them Johnny Beane sent you. You will get great service there. And speaking of great service, Johnny, when you want to hot rod your guitar, I know who I go to. I go to fu-tone.com. Do you? That's it, Johnny, as well.
I actually do go to fu-tone.com.
fu-tone.com for when you want to hot rod your guitar. fu-tone.com has everything. You want new bridges, you want titanium saddles, you want brass blocks, noiseless springs, tuners, even complete guitars ready to go, hot rodded to death. fu-tone.com has everything you want to supercharge your guitar. So check out fu-tone.com. There they are. Look at that special effect hologram of Johnny.
See?
Okay, the clue I gave for tonight's show and tell guitar was Count Chocula probably lives here. You ready, Johnny?
Under the bed.
It's with my love doll. Look at that thing.
Wow, a real Kramer.
Yeah, baby. Take that photo, Johnny.
An actual Kramer.
Wow, a real Kramer.
That's amazing.
Yeah, baby. Take that photo, Johnny.
Got it.
Okay, that's our thumbnail. This is a vintage Kramer Beretta. This is an E series. So this one's probably right about 1987. Or maybe 88. Right around there. Kramer Berettas, this is a real one. This isn't one of the current ones made in Indonesia. Not that those are bad for the money, but look, the fact is, you know, the 80s ones were the shit.
The hologram Kramers.
Yeah. Oh, Hollow Flash. I love this thing. No. There you go. Kramer Beretta. Right about, yeah, probably about 19. Let's see the body. Yeah, this is probably about 1987. It is 1987 or 88. Probably, my guess would be 1987 because it's an E series, not an F series. Anyway, Kramer Beretta. There's the pyramid logo that started in 87. Dot inlays. Now look at this graphic. Let's see who did this one. I think this is Klein. It's either Klein or Knapp. I think it's Klein. Yeah, this is a Klein. Oh, and it's dated, so I could look at it. This is, let's see. What does that say off camera? Believe it. Yeah, it is 1987. So it's a Klein graphic from 1987. It is dated as so. This is a hard graphic to find. This is the Castle. I mean, right now, all graphic Berettas, are very cool. I always like these. Of course, you have real Floyd Roses because Kramer had an exclusive deal with Floyd Rose back then. Just look how cool that is. Let's see. Try not to get too much reflection on it, damn it. That's cool. You got a little bat flying out of a castle. Spooky castle. Woo! Volume and tone knob. Duncan, I'm sorry. Duncan, Seymour Duncan JB pickup, JB Zebra pickup, which were real popular in Berettas at the time. And it's nice to have a real Floyd Rose. I mean, a lot of companies like BC Rich and Jackson were licensing them, or Jackson came out with the JT6. But Kramer had the real deal. Kramer had the exclusive with Floyd Rose, thanks to Eddie Van Halen. And these things play great. These are, again, one pickup, one angled pickup, all business. Kramer made such good guitars back then. And remember, these 1986 and up Kramers were made in conjunction with ESP. So ESP was making the parts for these and sending them to America to assemble. So a lot of people are like, oh, well, it came from the Kramer custom shop in New Jersey. No, they were built in Jersey, but assembled in Jersey. A lot of the parts were made by ESP back then. And you got this great three-piece maple neck. And the Kramer necks were really terrific back then. Let's see. What are these? Shaler tuners, made in Germany back then. Cool shape headstock. Little volute there, which was really smart because you really needed that strength, because back then they were drilling in the back of these necks, which, was not as stable as, when they didn't, because you're making two holes. So that Kramer had a little volute there, which gave it a little more strength, which was cool. And I love the Beretta bodies. They're round, smooth bodies. They fit your hand really well. You can really get in there, get that upper fret access. Just very comfortable guitars to play. Not heavy. Just really workhorses. I mean, you saw so many players playing Kramers in the 80s. Obviously, Van Halen, but, think Richie Sambora was a big Kramer player. Steve Brown from Trickster, big Kramer player. Andy Timmons. So yeah, all of these, Dracula's Castle. Let's see it. Got an E series. Just looking in the chat at some questions. Let's see. Fred Level Midnight. Do I sell any of my guitars ever? Sometimes I do. Not very often, but sometimes I do. Let's see. Fred inlays. Yeah, Batwing Fred inlays would be very cool with this to match the bat coming out of the Haunted Castle. Very cool. Very, very cool. Yeah, so I love the Klein and the Knapp graphics. Klein, as you know, did most of Kramer's graphics back in the 80s. Knapp came and did some others as well. And of course, the great George Felice, always working on a lot of these paint jobs, clear coating them and stuff, and doing a lot of specific things. But I mean, these Berettas are terrific. They're really, really great guitars. I love the late 80s Kramers. Really, I know a lot of people are like, oh, the 1983, well, that's the one Eddie had. Well, yes and no. That paddle headstock, Eddie had one, but they only made a handful of real ones. And after that, they just kind of, the market's flooded with fakes and replicas. And, Johnny, what are your thoughts on the 83 Kramers?
The one that they call the
Holy Grail.
The Holy Grail.
Holy Grail. The nickname for it is Holy Grail.
Yeah,
they made none of them.
There's not many of those. And,
like 10 made, 10 real ones made. What do you think?
John Biel, how many? John Biel's not sure, but yeah, only Eddie had those.
Yeah, but a lot of people have made replicas, and there's a thought out there that there were all these 83, they made it like a normal production year. They didn't. They did not. They're replicas out the ass of 83s. And then, of course, 85, 84, 85, you had the smaller paddle headstocks like Mick Mars used, and the guys in Cinderella. And then in 86, they came out with the pointy headstock with the regular straight logo. And in 87, like this one, they had the pyramid logo with the different size letters. And again, at that point, they were being made in conjunction with the SP. The action on these is great. They could be set. I haven't had this one set up. So this one's not too bad, but usually they set very low. I mean, they're really, the shredder guitars, so yeah, you could get them set up really great. I have a lot of Berettas. I love the things. My second guitar was a hollow flash Beretta. I still have it. But I really love this era of Kramer before they went out of business. And again, now that Gibson owns them, they make some cool ones. They're made in Indonesia, and for the buck, they're not bad. The Night Swans, particularly, I think are great because they have an R2 nut rather than the R1 nut they originally had back in the day. But for the Berettas, I love these 87 to 1990 years the best. These are my favorites of the Kramers, at least year-wise. They're my favorites. And again, there you go. Today's show and tell guitar of the week, Haunted Castle, Kramer Beretta, 1987. Very, very fun guitar. What do you There you go. What do you think, John? Do you like these?
Yeah, I think they're very cool. I mean, they're Kramers, and they are like that. When people talk to me about Kramer guitars, that's a real Kramer.
Yeah, sure.
That the 80s Kramers, that's the real stuff. The stuff in the 90s, 80s, 90s, and today. The stuff today, it's just the name.
Yeah, after 1990, once they went out of business in New Jersey, that was it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the graphics, everyone loves graphics. If you do, I mean, the Kramers had some great ones. And I love graphics. I really love, I mean, they're hand painted. That's the beauty of it. Today, some are still hand painted, but I just love them. Keith Campbell says 83 through 90 were the shit. Yeah, I mean, that's the golden era of Kramer when everyone in the 80s was playing them. Yeah, sorry, Renus.
If we can't get Dane to sell a guitar on here, and
you're not going to get me to sell mine. I mean,
you're not going to get that one.
There you go. Let's see what else we got. And leave a thumbs up in the video for my birthday tomorrow and for that guitar. Let's see. What else do we got? I'll bang through. I think I got one or two quick. Hello.
No. Oh, no.
Oh, boy. Ow, John, you're busting everything.
Somebody gift that, please.
And Can't Drive 55 asks, are the volume knobs original? Because some of them had only one volume. Some had one volume. You can order a tone knob, and I guess that one did. But most Berettas were one volume usually, and then the others like the Pacer, the Night Swan, the Stage Masters. Those had multiple knobs and switches. Usually the Beretta was either straight out one knob, or if you ordered it, you could get a tone like that one. Let's see, just real quick. Let's see. I think the only other thing, I guess, we'll go over the other thing I have next week. That can hold. That can hold. I think we're good.
Let me see. I did see something earlier, but where's my?
I mean, I have some. You want to take a few minutes and go through one thing?
Let's see. Every time I open up Google, something is always right there. Oh wow, this is breaking news. I mean, not in metal music, but anybody from the Bay Area here? Frank Somerville from KTVU Channel 2 says he's never going to anchor again. He's like a legend out here for Fox News.
Oh, who cares?
Man,
I'll tell my story. I gotta make up for that miserable story you just told.
Elvis had an accidentally rude film scene and it wasn't edited out. Elvis Presley. Oh, here we go.
Here's Johnny Beane with the news that doesn't matter.
Nikki Sixx
Goats
Motley Crue members making fun of Sharon Osbourne. No more backstage.
I think we've all made fun of Sharon Osbourne on this show more than anything. All right, Johnny, Metallica's 40th anniversary. They're coming out with all sorts of stuff, remastered versions of the Black Album. Metallica initiated a masterclass. Did you know this?
Who?
Johnny? Metallica. Have you heard of them?
No.
Metallica is doing a master class. For those that don't know what master classes are these video classes that you pay for on all sorts of topics. There's ones on cooking with Gordon Ramsay. There's ones on writing scripts with Ron Howard. There's a directing one with Ron Howard. There's an acting one with Tom Hanks. They have all these master classes featuring like the who's who experts of whatever it is you're signing up for. So Metallica is doing a master class, Johnny. And Metallica's master class on basically being a band, and they're telling all sorts of history. I watched part of it.
Yeah, you see the ad for that all the time.
Yeah, I watched part of it, and it's actually very interesting. You know, it's all four guys, and they're telling stories from the beginning to current, and how they got through certain things, and how they went through production of certain things, and how things got done, and lessons they learned. It's really, really interesting. If you get a chance, I recommend it based on what I saw. I don't know what it costs, but nominal fee. But whatever it costs, it's very, very interesting. And
whatever it costs is way too much.
Probably, but speaking of Metallica costing way too much, Johnny, the other part of that is for their 40th anniversary, Metallica also came out with a ring. And you could go to the link on Blabbermouth, Johnny, for the Metallica ring. It's a 40th anniversary ring, and it's got the number 40
Metallica
with
ring. Blabbermouth.
with the Metallica M on it. And what it is, it's a sterling silver ring, and they made a few different versions of it. And it's got little impressions of James and Lars and Kirk and Cliff and Jason and Rob all around the ring. And it says, 40 on it with the Metallica M on it. And they made a limited production of 40 of those. So what individually numbered 1 through 40, it's stamped inside the ring. And those are $3.99 a piece. And then they did a non-numbered version for $2.99 a piece. And we'll let Johnny bring a photo of it up so you can see what it looks like.
That's not the Metallica, the logo silver ring.
It's a silver ring with the 40 on it, and it's got an M in the 0.
I don't see that one because they have another one on their site.
Here, let's see.
But they won't ship to Russia or Brazil.
Well, that's sad. Here we go.
It's not this.
It's this. Hold on. I've got it. Okay. It's this. No, different one. It's this. There's the ring. So it says 40 with the Metallica M on it. So for $3.99, and again, you could buy it through their fan club. They're giving it to their fans first. So for $399, you can get one of the numbered ones, number 1 through 40. And for $2.99, you could get ones that aren't numbered. And it's, I guess, sterling silver with all the band engraved on the side.
How much to not get one?
Free, which is what that's the package I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get the free non-numbered, non-ringed edition that they will not be sending to my house. Yeah, because I honestly don't care. As much as I love the music. Yes, Hellstorm, we did the guitar. Rewind the video when we're done. Yeah, who knew Dane Zimmerman and Metallica have something in common? Never shipped to Russia. But there you go. So Metallica's 40th anniversary. Celebrate it any way you want it, kids. Take the master class, which looks cool. I don't know what it costs. But the ring, that's a lot of money for a fucking silver ring. And I don't know why, Johnny. Why would you want it numbered? Why would you care about the numbered ones? Who gives a rat's ass?
Because of collectability.
Collectability, please. Big deal.
And also, Leo Safko got a Tessie switch that's in his Frankenstein.
Oh, nice.
Looks like this.
There it is. Very cool.
It's hard to see, but there it is.
I could see it. It's a good looking Tessie switch. Well done, Leo Safko.
Awesome, man.
Johnny, real quick, tell me, you saw Lenny Lou and Mary and Janice over at
Yes, I did. Here,
at the Van Halen con this Sunday?
really quickly, I can play it on here.
I saw photos of a lot of other people that attended there. I saw Rob. I think I saw Nesdal.
Who?
Rob. You jerk. Yeah, no, I thought I saw a lot of photos of people we know. Let's see photos of Lenny Lou, Mary, and
really?
Janice.
Where is it? Right here.
Any nudes? Did you get any nudes?
It's not. It's not my birthday.
No, it's my birthday tomorrow, November 10th. So the PayPal address is right down there if you get bored.
Yeah, right there. John Mancuda at AOL.com.
There it is. You
Really
buy some
quick.
cool stuff.
This is pretty cool. Actually, seeing our people. You know.
Yeah.
Okay. Really. Oh, wait.
If you got any nudes of Mary, I'm in.
All right. Really quickly. Oh, copy. I didn't want that.
So what are you doing down there,
Okay.
Johnny? Dick pic. Oh, here.
All right, really quick. Here's a small clip from the other day.
Oh,
Hey, look who's here.
Janice.
All right,
Wait a
Janice.
minute.
What do you guys want to say? You want to
Say something. Say something.
EVH. Yes, EVH.
Forever.
EVH.
Hey.
Rob Johnson. Kurt.
Look at that shirt she's wearing. Look at
Hey,
that.
look at that.
Hey,
Look at those jugs.
Omega Collide.
Thank you. Yes,
Look
I
at those jugs.
That's
Oh,
Lenny
that's
Lou.
Lenny Lou,
right?
That's Lenny Lou on the left. That's
Yeah.
Janice on the right.
Lenny Lou and Janice Lala.
We are in
Where's
such a
Mary?
delay
Is
here.
Mary there?
How
I
many
could probably.
Oh, really? Yeah, there's delay for safety reasons. All right, I'm gonna go
Wow.
inside.
There actually are chicks
There's
there.
no
I can't
music
believe it.
playing, so I can catch some people.
Okay. Cool. Here we go.
Nice.
Inside.
There you go. Lenny Lou.
So Mary wasn't there?
I don't know. Oh, she's in the chat. She's in the chat.
I know they're in the chat.
It's awesome to Lenny Lou. Awesome to see you on the video like that. Mary was in timeout.
She just needs a spanking. You've been a bad girl. You've been a very bad girl, Mary. Gonna have to teach you a little discipline. Come here, Mary.
Yeah.
Little time out. Who's your daddy? Who's your daddy? That's right. My little geriatric love child right there. That's right. At 86, Johnny, she has a lot of sexual experience, so I want some.
There you go. Both of you guys.
Yeah. Yeah, me and Renus are going to give it to her. We'll make her like a rotisserie chicken, one on each end, and spin her around the poles. Keith Campbell, because you know, I don't want the whip to look like I've had it for a while, you know. You never know when that tag may come loose. Nice. All right, are we good, Johnny? I've got scripts to study, and in advance, please forgive me if I'm not as active on the phone or social media tomorrow. I've got to get ready for Thursday. We start filming. Everything will be fine in the end, and that's a movie I'm in. And so tomorrow, my birthday, is going to be a lot of unavailability for me, but I really, really, really I'm grateful for everyone that's wished me a happy birthday on the show. Thank you so much. And you know, you can leave something on Facebook or on Instagram in my chat. Always happy to hear from all of you. And of course, leave comments on the video, hit the like button, subscribe, leave comments in the video. We read them. We reply to them.
Even the bad ones.
Even the bad ones. Yes, sir. So let's thank our beloved and treasured, always treasured channel members like Michael the Captain Smith, David Ennis, Wayno, Mike Neese, Richard Poole, Lenny Lou, and my little geriatric sex kitten Mary, Gargets Entertainment, Kurt 5150. Why does it look like something's cut off there?
That's my name.
Okay, so I know who you are. Susan Silvestri, Mickey Settlemeyer, Joe Christian, Nicole Mrazek, Sean Bolland, Stephen Franklin, Will Starr, R. Habs, KXM Rock, David Shea Gomery, and Mrs. Gomery, Bo Zeke, Crazy Cook 678, Carol Hatcher, False Flag, Margaret Scranton, Sean Silas, Trevor Burson, Jarhead Rock, and Halface John Moronic, Hillary Lewis, James Gum. I got it, Johnny. I got it. I've done this before. Jim Nicholas, 802 Blues, Mr. BHB Jr., that's Bruce, Frag 5150, Pal Guitars, Dan Halen, Frank Corcoran, James G, Jeff T, R2R3 Locking Nut, Fernando Riley, Robot Master Switch, 6 Chick 71, Rick Green, the Chad, Two Brain Cells, G-Man, Michael B, Thomas Santiago, Voodoo Child SJ, that is Sean Johnson, and again, congratulations on your beautiful new baby girl. Brian Spalding, Fender Guru, Music Therapy Laz, Ghost BC Rich, 5150 TV, Jimmy Ray Hawkins, Hugh Caldwell, David Crosby is a dildo fucker. I'm not, you sure are. Jesus Rapes Me, Randy Price, James 5150, Christopher Live Sawa, Laguna Palms, Murphy, Steve Barton, All Dave, All Night, Tuba, Simon Hosford, Majestic PB&J Cat, and Steve Carmichael.
Steve Carmichael.
And again, I always say this, but I always mean it. We love and appreciate you, our audience. Thank you so freaking much for spending Tuesday night with us. Again, be kind to each other. Be nice to each other. Celebrate my birthday tomorrow, even though I probably can't. And get vaccinated so we can get back to live music. And if you see someone on the ground, goddammit, help them up. Just worth saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. And thank you all for the birthday wishes for tomorrow. Really appreciate it. Really, we love you. We appreciate you. Rock on, everybody. Johnny Beane TV. Talking guitars and 80s metal live. Rock on.
Love you all. See you guys tomorrow.
My birthday.
Happy birthday.
Thank you, Johnny.